A beautiful sunset in the western sky. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ashdown, America, as the Arkadelphia Badgers are at Dick Hayes Stadium to take on the Ashdown Panthers in 4A7 football action. A beautiful night, although it is still a little warm during the day. The sun sets, there's no humidity, and it is a gorgeous night for football in southwest Arkansas. Good evening, everybody. This is Chris Babb. Jeff Root will join us after the pregame show concludes. And we are excited about a fun night of high school football. The Arkadelphia Badgers try to stay undefeated in 4A7 conference play. They are taking on the Ashdown Panthers. First-year head coach Eric McCaslin taking an Ashdown team that has seen the departure of some players due to injury, some leaving, some just not playing football. So a smaller Ashdown roster than what you might be used to seeing. Regardless, the Arkadelphia Badgers will have to come out and take care of business if they want to stay atop the 4A7 standings. 3 games left in the regular season, counting tonight's game. And we're ready to bring you all of the action on APSD-TV.com. This is the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. In the pregame show, we'll hear from Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker as we talk a little bit about last week's 49-17 win over the Harmony Grove Cardinals. We'll talk to Coach Shucker about how he's prepared his team for this stretch of games as they prepare for the end of the season. Take a look at the players of the week from last week's game and get you ready for kickoff tonight as the Panthers and Badgers are set to kick off here in about 24 minutes. This is the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. We'll be back with the interview with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. It's brought to you by Wingfield Properties. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for helping make it possible for us to bring Arkadelphia Badger football to you. Senior night ceremonies have concluded in Ashdown, and the teams are in their locker rooms making their respective last-minute preparations before kickoff, and we are ready for an exciting night of high school football, a beautiful sunset there in the western sky you see on the screen. And after the break, we'll talk to Coach Shucker on the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. We'll be back after this timeout.
Great coaches know that success on the field takes more than just athletic ability. It takes a winning strategy. And at Southern Bancorp, we believe the same applies to banking. Whether you need competitive rates on loans and accounts to keep you in the game, or financial tools like credit counseling and homebuyer education to move the ball down the field, we can help. Visit banksouthern.com today and let's build your winning strategy. Southern Bancorp, wealth builders for everyone. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia. As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Go Badgers!
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
Locally owned and operated, Java Primo is the official coffee house of ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. In addition to coffee, drinks, and desserts, we also have wonderful options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shop our gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com or visit us on Main Street in historic downtown Arkadelphia. Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more says, Go Badgers!
Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Chris Babb with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. This interview brought to you by Wingfield Properties. Coach Shucker coming off of a 49-17 victory on senior night at Arkadelphia almost last year. It hadn't been quite that long. It was just last week. 42-3 at halftime. Your squad came out, really set the tone early, offensively, also defensively, though, and special teams. Coaches talk a lot about all three phases of a game having to be there when it counts, and you're thinking playoffs and all that. But if you can start having some all three phase type games as you go down the rest of the season, that's going to bode well for the playoffs, and that's what Friday night was.
It really was. We're playing really good complementary football in all three phases right now. Each phase is feeding off the other, and it's like we are picking up steam as the game gets going, and it's really exciting to watch and see our kids progress through that and get to perform the way they've been performing.
Offensively, the last couple of weeks, just the execution. We talk about in a game where you might be favored to win by those outlets that do picks and such, but you still have to come out and execute. Offensively, you have executed sharply the last few weeks, including Friday night. Yeah,
we really have, and that's just a testament to our guys and the progression that they've made over the course of the season. They haven't got just a ton of reps the past few weeks, but the reps they're getting, they're going out and execute at a high level, and it's just so good to see. Especially with the front that we've got, our offensive line has been really consistent in the run and pass game. Our sophomore quarterback McCoy has progressed over the season, gained a ton of confidence, and you see it in this play right now with how he's developing and getting our playmakers the ball, and our playmakers are making the plays they need to make, and that's just the biggest thing, is being consistent. The consistency is what leads to those explosive plays.
You mentioned the plays. Let's talk about that for a second. The amount of plays. 31. Let's go 2 weeks ago. 31 plays against Fountain Lake. 11 touchdowns. The game got out of hand. You subbed early right after halftime. Friday night, you're up 42-3. The sportsmanship rule starts. You begin subbing in. So I would imagine as a coaching staff that could be a concern. I know that's been conversation with other coaches. What do you do when you get to that point? Because you do have to keep in mind that there's a preparation for down the road when they're going to have to play a full game. Has that changed how you practiced any, or are there things that you as a coaching staff are trying to figure out as you navigate through that stretch?
Yeah, we have added some different things and put our kids in some different scenarios to try to simulate game reps, trying to get more reps on them just to stay in game shape, because when they play 30 snaps in one night, that's not a full game. And when you actually go against a team that you have to play a four-quarter football game against, if you're not prepared for that, you won't be ready, and you won't be able to go 4 quarters. And so some things that we've done to kind of add in is we've went good on good offense against the defense, and we've gone 16-play drives to where 16 plays, regardless of the result, whether it's a first down, a touchdown, they're getting 16 plays no matter what. And so the defense has got to go and withstand 16 plays. Offense has got to go execute 16 plays. And 16-play drive is a long drive in a football game, and it adds to our conditioning. It adds to our focus. It adds to being able to execute and make plays while you're fatigued and while the bullets are flying.
I would think that that's something that most fans who just watch games on a week-to-week basis and then go to their jobs throughout the week aren't thinking about.
No.
They're not thinking about how these games, although it's fun to win, and how these games are possibly, setting you up for the playoffs. But I would think as a coaching staff, that's something you guys have conversations with, how to balance getting your guys reps, also not getting in situations where things get out of hand, but also finding ways to keep your guys prepared.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest thing. It's fun, especially from a fan's perspective, to see what we've done this season. It's fun to watch it happen and all that. And from our standpoint, especially me, I'm looking down the road trying to make sure that we're prepared for everything else. We want to make a deep playoff run, and ultimately our ultimate goal is to win a state championship. And if we're not getting the right amount of competition, the right amount of reps on a Friday night, then it will be difficult to do that. And so it kind of comes down to one of those things where you don't want to let success beat you in the end.
Right.
Where you just don't have the competition level for a number of weeks to where when you get into the playoffs, especially quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, of course, but quarterfinals and on, the competition level really, really raises, because at that level, at that point of the season, you're playing every conference's best teams.
Right.
And so, if we've not seen that for a long time, for over a month or two, it's very difficult. So we've got to find ways to simulate that in practice, and I feel like we're doing a good job of it.
It's not it's a good problem to have.
It is.
There are teams in the conference that are going through rough stretches, coming back from different situations, and so there are problems everywhere. That's a good problem to have to figure out, but it's also one that that your coaching staff has had to figure out how to do it best for your guys. The Badgers defeat Harmony Grove last week, 49-17. After the break, we'll talk a little bit more about the game, talk about our players of the week, and get you ready for tonight's kickoff in Ashdown against the Panthers. You're watching Arkadelphia Badger football. This is the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. This interview with Coach Shucker brought to you each week by Wingfield Properties, and we'll be back with more with Coach Shucker after this timeout.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker, supporting the Badgers since 1996.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says Go Badgers.
The Board of Directors at South Central Electric Cooperative believes in the necessity of high-speed internet access in rural South Central Arkansas. South Central Connect was created to fulfill a need other internet providers were not able to provide in our area. South Central Connect, through our local cooperative, brings the necessity of internet service to your house, much like they did electricity in the 1930s. Sign up today at southcentralconnect.net or call 855-269-3429.
Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler says, Go Badgers! Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of bats and signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia, call Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you. Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Chris Babb with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. This interview brought to you by Wingfield Properties. Coach Shucker, let's go back to the Harmony Grove victory, 49-17. We touched on it before the game, before the break. But let's talk about our players of the week. It was a very good offensive, defensive, special teams work. Let's talk about our players of the week on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, offensive player of the week was Jay Purefoy, senior wide receiver for us. Very explosive game, had 3 touchdowns. He's been really consistent all season, but just had his really big breakout game. He's one of our big playmakers. Teams try to double cover him. They try to find different ways to make sure to try to keep him from getting the ball, but we've had to be creative in how we get him the ball, and he did a really good job Friday night.
Jay with 6 carries, 99 yards, and the touchdowns. And then let's switch over to defense. I guess we'll just keep it in the family.
Yeah, defense. Jay's little brother, Malachi Hamilton, starting middle linebacker for us. He's a junior. Led us in tackles for loss. Just a huge night for him. Playing against a Harmony Grove team that, they are downhill run. At that middle linebacker spot, you got to step up and rise to the occasion. He definitely did that for our defense.
Special teams has been just that for the Badgers all season. You start with Seth Molinari, I believe almost 45 extra points on the year, 3 for 3 on field goals, and we've talked about his kickoffs more in the last 2 weeks on the broadcast than I think I've ever talked about anybody with kickoffs and cover down teams. Because when you're in games like that, you see a lot of kickoffs.
Yeah.
You've also had a punt return for a touchdown from Braden Wagner. You had one called back, then one that wasn't called back against Fountain Lake. Last week it was a block punt and a recovery in the end zone for a touchdown. Talk about your special teams player of the week.
Yeah, blocked the punt, recovered it for a touchdown. He didn't recover it for a touchdown, but he was the one that blocked the punt. He's also, on our kickoff unit, covers down really well. He's on our PAT field goal unit. He's one of the guys on the wings that block the edge. He's a big part of our special teams unit. Q Morris is a big-time player for us.
Saw Q last night and said, we're going to block another one. He said, yeah, might as well try. I was like, sure, great attitude, go to that. And you see him a lot at linebacker. You see him in the Rhino package. Saw him carrying the ball a couple of times earlier in the season. So Q Morris, special teams player of the week. We're in Ashdown tonight, far southwest Arkansas, to play the Panthers. New head coach for the Ashdown Panthers. And I told their athletic director last night that when I was doing the Fountain Lake game, I said Ashdown coach Matt Richardson one too many times because Richardson was at Ashdown for all the years and now is at Fountain Lake. New head coach for the Ashdown Panthers, offensive coordinator at Hope. In the previous line, trying to get things going again in Ashdown. Ashdown is a team that has fallen on some injuries and some departures, lower numbers than we've seen in the past from Ashdown. What do you expect to see first offensively on the offensive side of the ball from the Panthers tonight?
They're going to be diverse. They're going to throw the ball a little bit more than they have in the past. They run some very similar things that we do. We're excited about how we can match up defensively against it. They try to be 50-50 run pass, and they're just more diverse than what they've been in the past with what they've got moving forward with their new coach.
Eric McCaslin, the head coach. A couple of people Arkadelphia fans might be familiar with. Ernest Reed, Ladarius McElroy on the staff, a couple of former Ouachita Tigers. Let's talk about Ashdown defensively. This is a team with, I believe, if I heard them correctly last night, say they were probably going to have about 26 players available tonight. So obviously you're going to have some guys going both ways.
Yeah.
It is still hot, even though it's end of October. Before we get into the intangibles, defensively, what do you expect to see from Ashdown?
Yeah, they're going to be in a 3-4 defense. They do a good job of trying to take away the big plays behind it. They're going to cover 4, so they're going to be dropping 4 defenders deep into coverage and try to keep everything in front of them. Their defensive line gets off the ball really, really well. They're aggressive. And then their linebackers do a good job of getting to the ball behind them. So offensively, we got to do a good job of attacking the space underneath and then securing the football and getting the positive yards when we can.
Ashdown has traditionally had several Division I recruits. They had some of those at the beginning of the year. Some of those are not on the team anymore for a variety of reasons, whether it's injury or departures like we mentioned. Going on the road, you're playing at someone's home field. I would imagine that still the same intangibles, bring your own energy. You've got to take care of the little stuff.
Well, no doubt. And so, one thing that it's Ashdown senior night tonight.
Right.
And so that their team's going to come out ready to play, especially their seniors. The seniors never want to lose on their own senior night. So we're going to get their best shot, whatever that is. And our guys have got to rise to the occasion for that. We've got to play with our own energy. We've got to create plays for us. We got to play together as a team. And I feel like if we can do that, we can withstand it. But our guys have got to understand that we're going to get their best shot and get it early. And so we've got to take care of that. from the very start.
Injuries are always a key, especially as you get late in the season. You've had some depth that has helped you there in the past. How do you look on that front this evening?
Yeah, we have had some guys injured a little bit, but for the most part, we're healthy, especially in our first groups. Our guys are playing really, really well at a high level right now. We're excited about getting after it again tonight. Hopefully we can come out healthy again. All
right. Our thanks to Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker for taking his time to join us on the pregame show. This interview brought to you by Wingfield Properties, the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. We'll be back after this timeout and just inching closer towards kickoff between the Ashdown Panthers and the Arkadelphia Badgers. Thanks for watching Arkadelphia Badger football. We'll be back with the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show after this timeout. Welcome back to Dick Hayes Stadium on the campus of Ashdown High School. Arkadelphia Badgers, Ashdown Panthers, just a few minutes away from kickoff. Chris Babb here. Jeff Root joins me now as we get ready for kickoff. Jeff, an absolutely beautiful sunset across the way. It's a gorgeous night for high school football. The Badgers looking to come out and stay undefeated in the 4A7 conference against Ashdown.
It is a great night, Chris. 79 degrees here in Ashdown after a high of 88 today. They're down to 79 degrees. Sun has gone down, as you said, and it'll be in the low 70s by the time this game is over. So a nice night here at Ashdown. A lot of Ashdown is kind of the same from year to year, but I tell you what, the lights are new. At least I don't believe they had them 2 years ago when we were here. Nicely lit field is what we like because we're going to be able to bring you a good picture tonight. That visiting stands, no surprise, Chris, it's full of Badger fans.
It really is. I got here early. The Ashdown remodeled their visitor side probably 3 years ago, and this is our second time to come, and so we knew that it would be small. The Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band is crammed into their section. The fans are filling up the rest. This is the one game where you always, when I was athletic director, felt sorry for the Dazzlers and cheerleaders because they were basically cheering to a couple of light poles on the sides because there's just not room on the track, but you see the Dazzlers there on the screen. Jeff, in watching Ashdown's warm-up, we noticed, we talked a lot about the numbers in the pregame show with Coach Shucker. You and I noticed that only 26 dressed out tonight, 27 players, and so we imagine this will be a night where Ashdown has to send a lot of players both ways.
They will, and they'll at least benefit from a little bit cooler weather in doing that. Now, they have won 3 games on the year, 3-4 overall. They're 2-2 in conference play, but they've not played anybody quite like Arkadelphia, so Arkadelphia comes in expecting a win in every game, maybe especially tonight. But we know, Chris, from history that Ashdown always has some talent, and they still have talent on this team. Their numbers are down, their depth is down, but they have some talent, and every now and then Ashdown will jump up and bite you. So Arkadelphia's got to come in ready to play, and that's been what the coaches have preached all week.
The strength of Arkadelphia has been the lines, offensive and defensive line. Talking to Brother Jim Cross, the longtime radio announcer for the Ashdown Panthers, for baseball, basketball, football. I said one of the strengths is I think the Badgers are getting ready to come through the banner there on your screen. One of the strengths is that on the defensive line they're able to rotate 6 or 7 guys in and out. His comment to me is we don't even have 7 linemen. Now, he was exaggerating a little bit, but watching their linemen warm up when they had offense and defensive together, there were only about 11 dressed out. So depth later in this game could play a key role. Arkadelphia hoping to get a quick start. Arkadelphia did win the toss and elected to take the ball first. So when the two teams do come onto the field, it'll be Arkadelphia's ball.
No doubt, Chris. If you're playing on the line of scrimmage, offense or defense, you're going to collide with somebody on every play. So if you happen to play on the line and you have to play both ways, it can be an exhausting evening. So you got to have depth at that position. Arkadelphia is blessed with a lot of very fine defensive linemen, maybe the most I've seen on an Arkadelphia team, to have that many ready to play at a high level.
Carson Carrozza, Nykeeson Wimberly, and L.J. Faulkner were the captains for Arkadelphia, and here come the Badgers, and in their nice, clean, road white uniforms. You'll see the band there and the huge Arkadelphia crowd. And, Jeff, that's one thing that you always see is the road, Arkadelphia traveling very nicely, and no different tonight.
Now, we are behind glass with the camera, but we think we're going to be able to give you a really nice picture because there's been a lot of work on cleaning the windows since we got here, so we think we're going to bring you a good picture. And we can hear the band well from where we are. Not sure exactly how well you can pick it up back home because we are behind glass in the home press box. And it's a small press box. Cooper Dar is not with us tonight. Gave him a little bit of time off for fall break over at Washita, but I'm not sure we could get one more person in this booth in the home side, but we're glad to have a nice view.
Yeah, there you see the sunset. Gorgeous night. We do believe that we are behind, the camera is behind glass, but now since the sun is set, I think we'll be able to help you out. Our ace videographer is standing on a chair. I can't really see the left part of the field. The camera can see more of the field than we can, but we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, no doubt we're going to call part of this game from the monitor because we've got three people lined up doing their jobs like they need to do. Chris running the computer, Jim running statistics, and Coleman standing on a chair to give you a good camera angle. I'm behind all three of them, so I'm going to be leaning on somebody all night long so I can see the field, but I'm not going to be able to see all the way to the end zone in the corner. So some of our game is going to be called by looking at the monitor just like you're looking at the screen at home.
Hey, if the pros from ESPN can call a game remotely, we can call a game remotely when we're actually in the same place, right?
We're going to have to when they get close to the goal line, no doubt about that. But what we are seeing is Arkadelphia lined up to receive the kickoff. So the Badger offense, Chris, on the field first.
Yep. Looks like Arkadelphia expecting either a pooch kick or possibly, they don't have the hands team on for onside kick, but the deep men, that is Orion Roberts, Braden Wagner, and I believe that's Jay Purifoy, are only standing at around the 20-yard line. So they have obviously seen something in film where Ashdown likes to either pooch or if they were expecting an onside kick, you might have the hands team ready to go. But regardless, the deep backs are not very deep. Jaquavis Purifoy now scoots back to about the 15.
Chris, we watched in warm-ups to get a close look at Ashdown and who was lining up where for their offense and for their defense. We just didn't see a lot of practice in the kicking game, so I think they're probably going to kick this on the ground or near the ground and perhaps even hope to recover. On the kickoff for Ashdown is Ethan Warner. And his kick is going to be high, but very short, and it nice return in good field position. Brawley on the return.
Brawley with a club, a cast that's covered. Probably not expecting to catch that initial kickoff, but regardless, did a nice job. He did better than me because I think I muted you during that instead of starting the clock. So luckily, not a whole lot was missed there.
All right, ball on the 42-yard line. First down and 10, Arkadelphia. First play from scrimmage tonight. Bryson McCoy at quarterback. He'll give it to Purifoy on the end around to the left side. He's got a hole, and he's going to make it to the 50. He's got a good hold to the 40, to the 30, cuts back, and then steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Big gain on first down.
It was good blocking around the left side, and then Jay Purifoy. Coach Shucker talked about Purifoy. He was the player of the week on the offensive side of the ball last week. Got a big Welch Funeral Home first down. Arkadelphia is going quickly.
Badgers line up. They're going to hand it to Kyle Reed up the middle. He's got a little bit of room. He'll fall forward to the 20-yard line, gain of 5.
Arkadelphia going on the ground. The first two plays, one stretching it out with Purifoy, and then up the middle with Reed.
Reed, the senior, next to McCoy, the sophomore. Reed up the middle again. He will slip down with a gain of a couple. Third down coming. Looked like he had a hole there, Chris, and just slipped as he made a cut.
It is a different type of turf, and walking on it on the field earlier, it is a little bit not as thick as Arkadelphia's. The blades kind of lay over, so it could be a little bit more slippery than they're used to.
They need 3. They'll throw it into the flat. That ball is completed to the end zone, and a touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place.
This is going to be tricky.
Embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street.
Even see the pass
downtown
completed, and I saw him running the end zone.
Visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that.
I can tell people are watching. I'll say when we're coming back. I may be muted. They may be hearing us right now. I got my mutes mixed up again.
Okay, all right. Local business
we'll figure it out.
Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
Yeah, they were hearing us through the breaks, Jeff, because someone forgot how to operate the mute button, so they didn't hear the extra point and the penalty that forced Arkadelphia to go for 2, but they did hear us through the break. So we know people are watching. Thanks for letting us know that I messed up again.
Here is a return out to the 20-yard line, 1st down and 10, Ashdown. Well, we're learning how to operate in a little bit different situation here, but glad to have a nice audience. We have a huge crowd here, of course, on the visitor side, but I know a lot of Badger fans are watching us as well, really from all over the country. So we're glad to have you along with us. Glad to have my granddaughter, Mary Kate, watching this. Mary Kate, glad you tuned in to listen to Papa call a ball game.
I'm wondering if someone switched my buttons over the week. Surely nobody would have done that, right? The mute and the start clock.
I can't
Surely
imagine.
It's not my own mess up.
All right. Ashdown will line up, and they're going to have the quarterback keep it and lose yardage on 1st down. And went around the right end, just had nowhere to go. That's a lot of penetration that we expect to see perhaps all night long. That defensive line is tough for Arkadelphia.
It is. Nykeeson Wimberly got to the running back as soon as the handoff was made. That's a loss of 5 on that play for 2nd and 15. This defensive line, when I talk to people about Arkadelphia, I seem like I'm saying a broken record because this defensive line has just been so strong. They have about 6 or 7 players they rotate in. It's just been one of the biggest strength of this team so far this season.
Quarterback is Riley Williamson. He's going to hand it off, and there is only a short gain. So it's going to be 3rd and very long. After the loss of 5 on 1st down, they're going to pick up 2 to the 17-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and 13.
They're actually going to say that last was a loss of 6, so it's still
more like 14 because they started as the chains lined up. They put the ball at the 21 instead of the 20, so they need 14. On 3rd down, Williamson at quarterback has Frick next to him. He's a really fine player. Lined up at quarterback, also likes to receive passes. They'll throw it to him in the flat and miss him. It's incomplete. He looked around, and the ball was hitting the ground in front of him.
Yeah,
4th down, punting situation.
Fricks was not expecting the pass that soon, but I don't think Williamson had much of a chance. He had to get rid of that one quicker. Even if Fricks had caught that pass, Colton Plyler was there, probably could have made that tackle in the backfield. And so regardless, it's a 4th and long.
That is how fast Arkadelphia is getting into the backfield. That pass, it doesn't take long to develop. He's just going to throw it to a running back running out in the flat, and he didn't have time to make a good pass. So 4th down, punting situation for Ashdown. Punter standing way back at his 6-yard line. Arkadelphia is set for the return. Line drive kick. That's going to be returnable for Wagner from the 42-yard line, already up to the 30. Knocked out of bounds, and a flag goes down at the 26-yard line.
That was a flat kick, and it did not give his the punter did not give his coverage team much time to get down and cover. Wagner caught that ball at the 42, and the first contact came around the 30. Incidentally, that's about where the flag was thrown. Maybe a blocking penalty on Arkadelphia.
And
they haven't talked to Ashdown's coach yet, but
officials are talking about it. Now they're going to mark it off.
Yeah.
From the spot of the block,
blocking
the 29-yard line, they're going to mark it back to the 30. The 28 back to the 38-yard line. Arkadelphia still has great field position starting this drive in Ashdown territory. Badgers scored quickly on their first possession, and they line up now for the second possession, 6-0 lead. And McCoy at quarterback has Reed to his left. Running play up the middle. Kyle Reed has room. He's got 5, he's got 10, he's got more. He breaks the tackle. He's to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, and out of bounds just before he can get to the end zone. Knocked him out. I think he stepped out first about the 8-yard line. 1st and goal there.
Good blocking again up front from Arkadelphia, but Kyle Reed broke one tackle, then two tackles. A safety tried to come up and ankle tackle him, but Reed broke that and got into the side of the red zone for another Welch Funeral Home first down.
Arkadelphia lines up. They'll run the play up the middle, and it's going to be a short gain. Chris, I'm going to look at the monitor, but if you see something I don't see, you just dive right in.
Yeah, because I've been doing such a good job at multitasking tonight.
You are doing fine. About the 5-yard line. We're having a harder time than the Badgers right now.
I wish there was a camera on us right now. Actually, I'm glad there's not.
All right, a handoff up the middle. It's going to go. That's Reed and he's in. Touchdown, Arkadelphia on the Kyle Reed run. The senior puts it in the end zone for the Badgers.
Regardless of who looked at it, Kyle Reed, all he saw was the end zone. Nice blocking from the offensive line. He just ran right off the left tackle into the end zone, almost untouched. And Arkadelphia gets a second score in just under 4 minutes.
Badgers line up for the extra point. Molinari did not miss an extra point. They went for 2 after a penalty on Ashdown. It failed. And so this time they'll kick it. And it is good. Of course it's good. It's Seth Molinari. And so the score is Arkadelphia 13, Ashdown 0. 8:28 left. We are in the opening quarter tonight. This is Badgers football.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, loans, certificates, and financial counseling. Patterson is also a strong supporter of the Arkadelphia School District. We provide food for students in need, have donated funds for additional security measures, and can always be counted on when a need arises for students and staff. Serving Clark County for over 67 years, we pride ourselves on providing the highest quality service to our members and our community. Join us soon. You belong here.
13-0, Arkadelphia leads, 8:28 remaining, and if our sponsors ever wanted to know if anybody was watching, my text message thread can confirm that is the case. You're on mute again, brother. Sound went dead. What happened to the sound? You're live. Yes, I can hear you now. Nice knowing what goes on behind the scenes. Someone, I think, messed with your mute buttons.
Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Another kickoff. Molinari will send it deep downfield. This is a return from back at the 7-yard line. He'll return it to the middle of the field. It's a good return, but he's going to be stopped by the Badgers, a gain tackle at the 21-yard line. I'm so glad that the kickoffs are going to that corner of the field because I can see that corner of the field, Chris.
It is a good corner for Seth Molinari to kick to. You know, the ball's going to be at the 21-yard line. Now we've got a flag after the play. Not sure. There were 2 players who – little extracurricular after. Not sure who this is going to be on. It looking like it's probably against Ashdown. Molinari is kicking that ball to around the 10 to 8-yard line. And so Arkadelphia is only allowing an average of about 10 yards on that kickoff return when they allow anything. And so Seth Molinari, again, I told Coach Shucker today, I think it was before we did our interview that we've talked more about kickoff coverage in the last 2 weeks than I think I ever have in a season. But it's because there have been so many, and they've been in the exact same spot, and the cover down team has done a phenomenal job.
And that's exactly right. That sideline becomes an extra defender in that situation. Whether they go up the sideline or come to the middle of the field, the coverage team for Arkadelphia has been very, very strong.
Ashdown
they're going to line up now, first down and 10. They're going to put the ball at the 11-yard line.
Offensive lineman was late coming onto the field for Ashdown, so they had to wait until there were 2 seconds left on the play clock.
There's a nice broken tackle and a run up to the original line of scrimmage. Now that was first and 10 from back at the 11, so it'll be second down and 1 yard to go. He made it up to the 20-yard line.
The first missed tackle we've seen from Arkadelphia. That time Ashdown decided not to go up the middle to the right. They came to the short side of the field, the left side of their formation, the right side of the Arkadelphia defensive line. Had their first positive gain of the night.
Ashdown lines up. Once again, the quarterback is Riley Williamson. He is a junior. He wants to pass. He's going to roll out under a lot of pressure. He throws an incomplete pass into the flat. Once again, trying to get it out there to his running back coming out of the backfield, but he could not get him to him. The intended receiver was Keldon Thompson.
Skylar McClure, LaJavis Moody, looks like Xavier Williams, all in that, and Nykeeson Wimberly putting pressure on the quarterback there, forcing him to get rid of that ball a lot faster than he wanted it to. So now after second and short, you have 3rd and 1. And if you go to a run and you get stopped for a loss, then you've got another fourth down situation because you're playing against this defensive line.
Running back is Thompson. He stays in the game. Frick moves to receiver position. They're going to throw it into the flat. There's a completion and a first down up to the 25, to the 30. Good play this time for Ashdown out to the 33-yard line. On the catch was Eli Wrinkle.
It's a good block by the wide receiver out on the right side. Amari Ford, the corner, was there to try to make a tackle. It was a nice job of a block on the outside from Ashdown to get that first down.
Yeah, they're having to throw those quick passes because the pressure is getting there from the Arkadelphia defensive line, but that was well executed, as you said, Chris. And so a first down for Ashdown. 2 first downs on this drive, or 1 first down, I should say, but they are moving the ball well with some better passing now. Here's a run to the right side, stopped in the backfield. He'll escape that. That's a good run, and it'll take him out to the 39-yard line. Nice work again by Thompson.
Thompson did a nice job that time of looking like he was going to the right and then just kind of cutting back against the grain. Caught Arkadelphia in a little bit of over pursuit, able to get 7 on first down.
Yeah, they are going to spot it closer to the 40. So from the 40, second down, 3 yards to go for Ashdown. Arkadelphia's defense dominating early, now giving up a first down and 3 yards away from a second one as Ashdown showing a little bit of momentum now. Thompson doing a good job at running back. He didn't start the game at the position, but he looks strong right now. He will throw it into the flat. That's a completion into the flat, but nowhere to go. Just a fine open field tackle and a fumble picked up by Arkadelphia, returned by Wagner, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown Arkadelphia, but a flag is down.
Got a flag. Not sure. I'm not going to guess. It was a nice tackle by Q Morris, forcing that fumble. I see cheers from Coach Chandler and Kaiser, indicating that it's going to be, the offense is coming on for the extra point. They're waving off the flag. Maybe he just dropped the flag instead of the beanbag to indicate where the fumble was. So, Arkadelphia touchdown.
All right, Arkadelphia will try the extra point, go up by 3 touchdowns. Ashdown had just begun to move the ball, starting at their 11-yard line. They turned that over after a completed pass into the flat, just needing 3 yards for a first down. They instead turned it over, returned for a touchdown, and Arkadelphia is now up by 3 scores. Seth Molinari on for the extra point attempt. Snap is a good one. The kick is up, and the kick is right down central. It is Arkadelphia 20, Ashdown 0. 5:53 left. We're in the first quarter tonight. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to sponsor this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our Arkadelphia locations located at each I-30 exit, or our new Tiger Mart store located on 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia. R&T Dixon's Go Badgers!
Back to action here in Ashdown. Arkadelphia has jumped out to a 20-0 lead. And once again, Chris, all phases of the offense, defense, special teams, everything's working again.
Defense gets another score. This time, I believe it was Q Morris who had the tackle and punched the ball out. Braden Wagner picked it up and ran it in for Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia has scored a lot of touchdowns this year. We know that, but not just offensively. They've been defense and special teams. Chalk another one up for the defense.
Seth Molinari set up for the kickoff. Badgers off to a good start. Kick is high and returnable again from the corner over there at the 9-yard line. He'll stumble and then come out to the 15-yard line, trying to take it wide. He is able to take it wide to the 25 to the 30. Molinari and company will make the tackle as he nears the 40-yard line. Good speed on the return.
Great speed from, that is Bryson French. I believe that was French. That's the first time we've really seen any of the kickoff return teams be able to get outside on that left side when taking it across the field. Good hustle that time from Arkadelphia's Reese Campbell and Seth Molinari to make that tackle. But Ashdown has good field position at its own 40.
Ball at the 40-yard line, first down and 10 for Ashdown. Williamson made a couple of good passes on the last possession, but then a fumble after a completion turned into a touchdown for Arkadelphia. On first down, they're going to send a linebacker in, And the defensive end is going to make the tackle. Really good work. We've called his name all year long, Skylar McClure.
McClure at the end position, but Reese Campbell also forced that. He was coming in as a blitz from the outside linebacker position on the right side. He forced the quarterback to read that blitz, had to hand the ball off, and Skylar McClure was there for the stop. So good scheme, good execution, and it forces I guess they're going to give him a loss of about a half a yard.
Yeah, the ball is just short of the 40 now, so it's second down and 10 yards and a foot. Williamson at quarterback, wants to pass, looks to the flat. He throws it out there again and missed his target. Incomplete. Intended receiver, really fine player, but hasn't been able to put his hands on the ball very often. Kamarian, I should say, Fricks.
And again, it was the defensive line forcing pressure. Lance Gully. Gully's in there now with Jacoby Campbell and Skylar McClure. Only three defensive linemen for Arkadelphia in this set, 3 linebackers, 2 of the 5 defensive backs. So going with 3 linemen, and they still were able to get pressure on Williamson.
4 wide receivers in the game, make it 5. Empty backfield. Ooh, the defensive line is going to come after the quarterback. He'll have to be quick. He's back to pass, looking downfield. Now he's going to run. He's got a little bit of room up to the 44, cuts it outside. He will not make it first down yardage, though, as he's hit hard and brought down at the 47-yard line. Fourth down.
Yeah, sorry, Jeff. He was hit really hard. Tremendous job of pursuit by Arkadelphia's linebackers. You had Q Morris over there coming in to make a tackle. It looked like the quarterback, Williamson, was going to have enough to make that first down, but they did stop him 4th and 3, and Ashdown has a decision to make, but down 20, you got to go for it here.
Yeah, I think they will. They need 3. 4th down. If they turn it over, Arkadelphia will have a short field again, and they're going to go with the empty backfield again. Arkadelphia wants to come after the quarterback. They are going to fake it to a running back, run it, and lose yardage. He just had nowhere to go. 3 Badgers in on the tackle.
McClure, Reese Campbell, Jacoby Campbell, Nikeeson Wimberly, Q Morris, all right there. They tried to go the wide receiver almost on a jet sweep handoff to take that, and did not give it to the receiver, kept it, and that was a big play by the interior of the Arkadelphia defensive line to force the turnover on downs.
Chris, I thought that was a great call defensively. They lined up people on the line of scrimmage and covered every gap. The quarterback had no gap to run through, and he lost yardage. So first down from the 42-yard line for Arkadelphia, just 42 yards away from their 4th touchdown of the night. If the Badgers can get there, here is still in the first quarter. They're going to whistle it into play now. The quarterback is the sophomore, Bryson McCoy. He wants to pass. He'll throw to the flat. Beautiful pass. There's a catch. Stepping out of bounds with the catch near first down yardage is Riley Cummings.
Riley Cummings with the nice catch. It was a nicely placed ball there also by McCoy.
So 1 yard needed. He got 9. 2nd and 1 for the Badgers. Reed is in the backfield. Big, strong running back. They're going to throw it, though, to the flat, and here's Purifoy. Purifoy to the 30, cuts to the 25, another good cut, and he's going to drive inside the 20-yard line, first down and 10.
It's a Welch Funeral Home first down for Arkadelphia. Jay's going to have to come out, kind of comes up a little.
He's limping a little bit.
Yeah. He was tackled hard, and I think he probably got a little frog in the quad there to the right side. Hopefully he'll be able to come back in the game quickly.
Badgers line up. First down, 10 yards to go for Arkadelphia. And they're going to run up the middle. Reed is hit twice in the backfield. He will fight, but will not get back, I don't believe, to the line of scrimmage. Better play this time by the Panther defense.
Yeah, Arkadelphia tried to go off that left tackle, kind of in that gap, and just the defensive line for Ashdown did a nice job of plugging that one up. That was Colton Rowe with a defensive tackle, and then also the nose guard, Frederick Hunter.
McCoy at quarterback. Receiver goes in motion. That's Cummings. Nice tall target is Mr. Cummings. They're going to pitch it wide, though, and here's Reed looking for a hole. He finds one. He's up to the 15, then driven back. That's a good hit. So the gain was only up to the 15. It's going to be 3rd down and 7.
They're not even going to give him to the 15. They're marking it closer to the 17.
Oh,
I thought he did get that far, at least to the 15, but
All right. Well, they've got 2 more yards to cover than I expected.
The official is kind of confused because he just waved the chains down for first down, but it's third and 8. Wait a minute. 3rd and 9, but now they have first down on the mark. What do we got going on
They're
here?
moving the chains. What are they doing?
What do we?
No, they've got to talk about this and get it straight.
They
Arkadelphia's
just
lined
gave
up for the play.
Arkadelphia a first down.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Here is a running play to the right side. Looking for room is Kyle Reed. He'll find some room near the 10-yard line where they bring him down about the 12.
I guess what I'm more concerned about is that Ashdown never realized it. The official, I saw what he did. He waved the marker down, and he said indicated first down, and it was supposed to be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, I think he got confused about was he looking at the first down marker or the marker where it was on 1st and 10. Rolling to his right, McCoy looks into the end zone, fires to the corner, and incomplete. Just let him out of bounds just a bit.
Nice job by McCoy of getting rid of the ball, evading some traffic, and he had a receiver on that backside. That was Maddox Finley. He did a nice job of finding a way to get open in that back corner of the end zone. That's a hard throw to make for McCoy, rolling to his right, trying to keep that one in the corner of the end zone, just a little bit too strong for Finley. So now, I believe it's 3rd down.
3rd down. They look like they need
4 or 5.
Yeah, between 4 and 5, we'll say. Reed is still in the game at running back. Don't expect to see Moody at running back tonight, so Reed's going to get a lot of work, and then perhaps Caden Whitaker, also the sophomore back. Here's a run right up the middle for Reed. He's got a hole. He's inside the 5 in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. Kyle Reed once again.
Second one for Kyle Reed on the night, and I don't think Arkadelphia needed that extra down. I don't think it ended up – could go back and see if it made any difference. Ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to make any difference. But don't know if on that drive that made a difference. But I'm just still shocked that nobody noticed on the home sideline that they gave Arkadelphia the first down.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So Arkadelphia has stretched its lead now, still in the first quarter. Badgers 27, Ashdown 0. 1:46 left here in the first quarter. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
At Ludwig's Bakery, it's a family affair. It always has been, dating back to 1920 in the original Ludwig's Bakery in South Dakota. Well, we're here in Arkadelphia now in our new location downtown right off of Caddo Street. Come visit us and enjoy our authentic, freshly baked German fare. For us, it's nostalgic and a source of pride, and we want to share it with you.
Kommen Sie uns morgen früh besuchen.
That's come visit us tomorrow morning, and we can get your weekend off to a great start. Ludwig's Bakery.
Jeff, I jumped the gun this morning. I didn't wait until Saturday morning, and I went to Ludwig's. A fantastic young lady at the checkout counter took care of me. Got a B-Rock. It was a seasoned beef with some cabbage and a nice roll. It was fantastic. I don't think it's anything you would try.
I just don't remember you bringing me anything this morning.
Well, I didn't want to waste it because it wasn't chicken strips or burgers.
Okay, here's a line drive kickoff. Nice kick. It's going to go to the 6-yard line, almost out of bounds, but it's returned up to the 15. He'll break one tackle and go down at the 20-yard line. Ashdown once again has a long way to go to pick up a score. Arkadelphia leading 27-0.
But it was fantastic, and so was the cookie. And so I might head out to
Did you just say the word cookie and you thought that I wouldn't like anything? Of
well,
course I would like something from Ludwig's.
It was a surprise, cookie surprise. I didn't think you liked surprise. It was a craisin. Do you like craisins?
I don't really know what that is,
Yeah,
but I'm sure that
really
they
good.
have things there that I would eat, Chris.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they do.
You need to try it out tomorrow morning. It's wonderful, downtown Arkadelphia. I don't know if the same fantastic checkout cashier person will be there in the morning. I don't know her schedule.
I want to go just to hear some German.
It's my daughter, Coleman. It's my daughter.
Ball at the 20-yard line. First down and 10 for the Panthers. Here's a handoff coming into the line of scrimmage and gaining only a yard if he got that. Let's see where they spot it. Maybe a gain of a half yard. It's going to be hard to run right at Arkadelphia tonight.
Or any night. Broken record time again, but the defensive line now, you've got McClure, Gully, Moody, Jacoby Campbell. You've got Nykeeson Wimberly and Xavier Williams over on the sideline. It's a very deep rotation of 7 or 8 for Arkadelphia.
Ashdown has some speed. They've been able to make a few first downs, but they have not put anything together to reach midfield yet. Second down, 9 yards to go. Back to pass. He's going to be caught and sacked.
That was Jacoby Campbell coming in from the left side. The defensive end position just got right by the offensive lineman, and Williamson, bless his heart, he is in this first 11 minutes and 18 seconds, he has really taken some shots. And now Arkadelphia goes to the 3 defensive lineman look with 3rd and long.
3rd down and long. Arkadelphia has 3 defensive linemen who are fully capable of getting to the quarterback. Everybody else will be in coverage looking for a potential turnover. Williamson at quarterback. Been under pressure all night, as Chris has said. All quarter, I should say. We're still in the opening quarter. There's a pass to the flat and a good block and a gain up to the 30-yard line. Good gain after the catch on the reception and the run. Joe Delangel, I should say.
You know, Ashdown has gone to the right several times. This is going to bring up the end of the first quarter, but Ashdown's able to get something going, a 3rd and 13 situation where you're able to gain 15, 20 yards and get a first down as the first quarter expires.
After 1 quarter of play, it's Arkadelphia 27 and Ashdown 0. The Panthers have the ball and a first down when we come back for second quarter action. This is Arkadelphia.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in how we support our communities, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Thanks to Chad Kesterson, Shelter Insurance, for his sponsorship of Arkadelphia Badger football. We move to the second quarter. Thanks to Taylor King Law for being our first quarter sponsorship. We move to the second quarter, and it is the Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler second quarter. A second quarter that sees Arkadelphia lead 27-0. Ashdown converted a 3rd and long to have a first down at the Arkadelphia at their own, 34-yard line. 34-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Panthers. They have been able to move the ball on their own side of the field. They have just not reached midfield yet. And they want to throw it. Here's a pass across the middle, well defended by Morris, and I do see a flag that came out very late.
Well, I don't know what the blue device was that he threw first, but I think he meant to throw his flag first. It's pass interference. It's a right call. Arkadelphia just came over the back of the receiver just a little bit too quickly before the ball got there.
And they'll move that out, a penalty against Arkadelphia, and a first down and 10, where they're close to midfield now. With the penalty, they'll move it to the 49-yard line of Ashdown. It was a good pass, and to get to it, he had to go over the back of the receiver and made contact before the ball got there.
I do think we're going to see Ashdown try to go to some of those quick looks outside. That's the only way they've been able to have success against Arkadelphia.
On first down and 10, they're going to try a handoff. He is going to break to the outside, and that's Fricks. Gang tackled by Arkadelphia, but he's still got positive yardage, picking up 3 on the play.
Q Morris with the initial hit, but you mentioned gang tackling. Arkadelphia quick to the ball, as always. Colton Plyler, Malachi Hamilton. Plyler up from the safety position, Hamilton linebacker, and then about 4 or 5 other Badgers getting there to make sure it was a short game.
Hamilton played on the secondary last year, but he looks thicker and stronger this year as a junior. Really fine middle linebacker. From the 48-yard line of Arkadelphia. First trip into Arkadelphia territory for Ashdown tonight. Second down, 7 yards to go. Fricks is the running back. To the right of his quarterback, Williamson. They'll fake it to Fricks, throw it out into the flat. A big hit, though, and the ball, I think the ball came loose and then was recovered up to the 39-yard line. Is that what happened, or did I get two players mixed up there?
I think they had a player bump into each other. Arkadelphia's defensive back, Kelton Wilson, was being blocked by the receiver, and he blocked the receiver into the one who caught the ball. That was Bryson French. And then French was able to break a tackle and get the first down.
So from the 39 of Arkadelphia, a first down. Again, as Chris said, one of those quick hitters to the outside, and good blocking by the receivers to make those plays work.
We've also seen Ashdown slow it down a little bit, not huddling except for with the quarterback and lineman, but they are running that play clock down, getting to the line with 15, snapping it with anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds left, closer
Williamson
to 5.
Williamson at quarterback. To his left is Fricks, and a flag goes down.
It's going to be offsides against Arkadelphia.
Badgers anxious to get to the quarterback that time. That'll cost him 5. First down and 5 from the Arkadelphia 34-yard line. Things coming together for Ashdown on this drive so far. First and 5, Arkadelphia 34-yard line. Badger defense has been strong all night. We'll see what they can do in this situation. There's a little bit of protection. Now a running quarterback. He's to the 30, to the 25, to the 15-yard line. Hit and dragged down at the 10, but a really fine run by Williamson.
First and goal, the first time that Ashdown has been able to get deep into Arkadelphia territory. Is a busted play that time. Williamson was able to see a lot of space in the defensive secondary and then able to run before he was touched. He was touched between the 15 and 10. It's a good job by Williamson.
They are going to spot the ball at the 9-yard line, so it's first down and goal for Ashdown. First trip into the red zone for this offense of Ashdown. Really good run by Williamson, the quarterback. He's a junior. They will drop the ball on a handoff, and Arkadelphia picked it up. Another turnover for Ashdown, and the defense has come through again.
Jeff, I was just getting ready to say the other times that Ashdown has had something go its way, it's shot itself in the foot. I was just thinking about that before that play. You have positive, and then that was just a bad read on the mesh. Quarterback and running back were not on the same page. You see Coach McCaslin talking to them right now about making sure that they find a way to get on the same page, because that's just what that was. It was a misread between the quarterback and running back. The ball was on the ground, and Arkadelphia was able to hop on it and take over. And that's a small momentum killer for Ashdown. It's a huge momentum killer for the small amount of momentum that they had.
It's a mistake, but the ball in the backfield had a Badger in the backfield with it, and he came up with the ball. Jacoby Campbell on the play for Arkadelphia. They'll send in motion Roberts. They'll throw the ball to Roberts, and he catches it at the 20. Kids upfield, breaks the tackle, and he might go. He's to the 50-yard line, to the 40. Roberts to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. He is in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. The Badgers are on fire tonight.
Saw that in 2 of the junior high games last night. One of the teams, they were both Arkadelphia in this instance, both of the teams had some momentum, had a turnover on the very next play, a big play, just kills the momentum and scores a touchdown. That's exactly what tonight it was to Arkadelphia's favor. Last night it was to Ashdown's favor in the junior high games. Happened in the 7th grade game. It happened again, I believe, in the 8th grade game. And tonight it's Arkadelphia that is able to take advantage of the momentum. Arkadelphia is going to try to go for 2 to kind of get it to the 35.
Yeah, 35. If we reach halftime and they have a 35-point lead, they'll go to the good sportsmanship rule for the second half. So they want to go for 2 and hit the 35 mark right now. Well, Ashdown had a chance to tackle Roberts on the sideline.
That was phenomenal.
Could not get it done, and then he just sprinted. He outran everybody.
I don't know how he tiptoed the sideline and escaped a tackle and then was able to outrun the Ashdown defense. Fantastic job by Orion Roberts. It was a fantastic catch. Good throw by McClure, but Orion Roberts did a fantastic job of making that catch in full stride, right at the fingertips, tiptoed the sideline, and then just outran the secondary.
Chris, let's go over this rule one more time as we have a timeout on the field and we have a couple of moments. Arkadelphia is going to talk about what they want to run to try to make this 2-point conversion and take a 35-point lead. But it's important to note that there are 9 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter, so Ashdown will still have an opportunity to get back in this to the point to avoid the good sportsmanship rule. But this 35-point lead, obviously at 35-0, an awfully good start for Arkadelphia.
It is. You can't start the clock until the third quarter unless the officials or coaches say, let's just start it earlier. We haven't seen that yet this year. And, a lot of times coaches don't want to do that. They said, We'll just go out and play it and see what we got. But Arkadelphia coming out to go for 2 again with 4 wide and 1 in the backfield being Kyle Reed.
Yeah, this time 2-point conversion, and in his usual spot to take a snap from the shotgun is McCoy. He'll roll to his right, looking into the end zone. He finds a receiver, and he's got it. I believe he held on to that. He did. That is a 2-point conversion. It is good, and Arkadelphia has stretched its lead to 35-0.
I believe it was very similar to a 2-point conversion play that Arkadelphia ran against Hot Springs at Carpenter Haygood Stadium to win a game in the 2022 season. That was Orion Roberts coming across in motion. It causes confusion in the secondary, especially if they're not running a man. It causes confusion, and a lot of times he's able to go basically what would be in the flats, but right there in the end zone, just 4 yards to be able to make that catch.
Yeah, beautifully designed play. A couple of receivers in the end zone went the other direction, and he was left alone in the flat. Caught the ball as he was backing up a bit and held on to it, got possession of it before he rolled out of bounds. And so Arkadelphia got the 2-point conversion. It's Arkadelphia 35, Ashdown 0.
We will get to hear the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band at halftime since we're on the home side. And we also have a microphone outside, so look forward to hearing them. Congratulations to the band. Got all ones at the Regional Marching Assessment Tuesday at Lake Hamilton. And they will compete in the state marching contest on Monday, November 4th.
Yeah, you'll want to stay tuned at halftime for that. Fantastic marching band again this year for Arkadelphia. Kickoff down the field, return this time from the 9-yard line. He'll come to the middle of the field, look to go to the far side, and he's got some room. To the 25, 30-yard line, out of bounds just as he crosses the 35. They'll mark it at the I think the 37-yard line as they'll separate some players on the far side. That's just awfully good speed.
Boy, he has got some speed. That is Bryson French. The second time you've seen the speed to get outside. We haven't seen that all year. French was able to get outside. Hats off to Xavion Williams to be able to catch him from behind and throw him out of bounds to keep that from being even a bigger gain. French is going to have to come out and get a breather real quick, as that was a fantastic run. Bryson French has some speed. You're used to seeing that from Ashdown.
Yeah, they're going to actually put him at receiver, keep him in the game. He's lined up at the bottom of your screen now. And so at the 38-yard line, it's 1st down and 10. Williamson at quarterback. And he wants to run the ball. He'll come to his right looking for space. He's going to be tackled with a gain of maybe 1 on the play.
Reese Campbell on the tackle for Arkadelphia as we go under 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. Again, just not much most of the time. We've seen a couple of plays where Ashdown's been able to get positive yards. They got inside the Arkadelphia red zone and then just had miscommunication between Thompson and Williamson. Forced the fumble. The next play, Orion Roberts changes things.
2nd down and 9. They'll throw to the flat. This is a catch, a return, and they'll knock him out of bounds short of the 1st down. He picked up about 3 on the play. On the catch for Ashdown was Thompson.
Thompson out of the backfield. Q Morris with the force out of bounds. Did a nice job. Thompson did a nice job of fending off Morris. Got the hand there in the face mask, not allowing Morris to get full control of him, but that is a good-looking linebacker core for Arkadelphia between Quintavion Morris. Last week's Defensive Player of the Week was Malachi Hamilton. Reese Campbell, Carson Brawley out there as well.
This time they're going to line up French, the speedster, in the slot, top of your screen, and they'll throw instead to the right. But there is a defender, and a tackle is made in the backfield.
Kelton Wilson read that one perfectly. He was lined up in press coverage on the receiver. Wilson did a nice job after French caught the pass of seeing where the ball was going, letting French catch it, and then making the tackle. And so 4th and 8.
Ball back at the 20-yard line. They are going to have to kick the ball away. And lined up in punting formation is Hayden Ziegler. Ziegler set to do the kicking. Arkadelphia looks like they might come after him. Instead, they set up the return. It's a very high kick this time. It will go to the sideline and bounce around a bit. Arkadelphia will have decent field position. Ball at about the 30-yard line.
Well, we got a flag back here, a little bit of extracurricular. That's probably going to be
goodness.
The Amari Ford for Arkadelphia, and Hayden Ziegler. I don't think it was Ziegler who got into it there. It may have been the punter, but just a little bit too much after they were on the ground. Don't know if they'll call it offsetting or against Arkadelphia. It was after the punt, though, so it should be Arkadelphia ball.
Yeah, he was not near blocking the kick.
No, and it was after. It was as they started running down the field. They started blocking each other, went down to the ground, and neither one of them stopped.
Officials have a conference. Now we get the call. Personal foul is going to go against Arkadelphia.
Yep. Oh, they're going to say it was before the punt. They're giving Ashdown the ball. That's not. That's not right.
All right. Well, Ashdown will have a first down. We've seen a couple of interesting calls tonight. One did favor Arkadelphia. This one does not.
Yeah, I think Coach Shucker's going to want an explanation from the white hat on that one. He's not going to get it. Ultimately, it's not going to matter, but
that will put the ball on the Arkadelphia 48-yard line. First down and 10 for Ashdown. Once again, it's 35-0, but Ashdown can avoid the good sportsmanship rule if by halftime they can cut into that lead. Thompson is the running back. Quarterback is Williamson. They both run the ball well. 2 good drives so far for Ashdown. Each ended in a turnover. Now under pressure, he'll be caught and sacked. That's a big loss on the sack. He tried to get away, Chris, and could not.
Skylar McClure did a nice job of ripping through the block, got Williamson in his grasp for a loss of 9 yards. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you have seen sometimes when there's a personal foul during a punt, the ball stay with the offensive team. A lot of times I thought that was before the change of possession. I don't know if that is when the ball is kicked or when the ball is caught. So that you may have ruled that it was before. Obviously they did before the change of possession.
No, a flag goes down, and that's going to be 5 more yards. That will hurt Ashdown. It's going to be.
That was the receiver on the far side, just kind of flinched a little bit.
Second down at 24 coming.
Jaden McKenzie, the corner for Arkadelphia, standing right by it, kind of pointed it out, and the official was standing right by them as well.
Well, unless they have a good second and third down, they may be punting from worse position than they started with here in a moment. Ashdown's got speed. They'll try to use it now on second down and very, very long. Back to pass. Williamson goes to the flat. He throws an incomplete as Fricks could not get to it. Incomplete.
Well, it's the second time we've seen that. Fricks going out of the backfield and not looking for the pass quick enough. So not sure if Williamson was throwing it early. Fricks wasn't looking soon enough, but regardless, that's the second time that the ball has been there, but the receiver wasn't looking for it quickly enough.
Immediately after a sack, I'm not surprised the quarterback would maybe be throwing it a little bit too early. Third down, 24. They might throw the ball down the field this time if they've got time to try to do that. Now looking down the field. Now the quarterback's thinking about running. He'll fire it down the sideline, and that ball is caught at the Arkadelphia 41. Now that's not a first down, but quite a nice completion.
Well, we do have a flag in the backfield. Yeah, the secondary for Arkadelphia is trying to figure out where they did mess up. So I believe the way that Ashdown is looking and the way that Jim Rothwell believes, it's going to be a hold against the Panthers.
Now, what a crippling penalty that will be if it is, in fact, going to be a personal foul instead against Ashdown. That's going to hurt even more. Still third down, but they're going to mark off another 15. Goodness gracious. That was a deep pass, still not enough for a first down. Now they're going to back them up again. Ashdown just in a bit of a state of shock here after picking up that first down. A penalty against Arkadelphia. They've just gone backwards and backwards and backwards. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line. They've got to go all the way to the Arkadelphia 38 for a first down.
I think it's 3rd and 27 and plus 12, 3rd and 39.
That's what I get. A running play up the middle. They're going to get some yardage, not nearly enough. We'll give them a good spot to punt from at the 33-yard line.
4th and long. I don't have long on my it's definitely not 4th and goal. I think they got 10 on that, so it's 4th and 29.
Let's go for that. 4th and 29. I think you're right. I don't think we'll see a fake. 4th and 29. 5:34 left here in the second quarter. Arkadelphia leads at 35-0, and the Badgers about to get the ball back.
I don't want to see a penalty.
Oh, my, that was almost blocked. Ball went straight up. Fair catch called for by Wagner, and he'll catch it at the 35 or 45-yard line of Ashdown. Good field position again for the Badgers to start a drive.
Skylar McClure got through, and I looked at the white hat. He did not make the deflection signal, and so I don't think McClure blocked that, but he blocked it by default because he was standing right in the grill of the punter when it was made. And so now Arkadelphia, with a nice job by Wagner of fair catching that, has the ball with 1st and 10 inside Ashdown territory.
He certainly affected the punt, even if he didn't touch it. And Wagner, what a great job of that fair catch to keep it from rolling down the field. So from the 45, 1st down and 10, Arkadelphia 45 yards away from another touchdown. Running play, nice gain on 1st down. Tackle by Ziegler is also a punter, and he made it up to the 42-yard line for a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Reed has gone the distance in the backfield. Mentioned Blake Moody not available tonight.
Wagner in motion. They're going to throw it to him. Here's Braden Wagner looking for space on the sideline. Good move. Past 2, 3 defenders. 1st down up at the 30-yard line.
It was a great move by Braden Wagner to get to cut it back up inside. Jay Purifoy with a block, and the Welch Funeral Home 1st down for Arkadelphia.
12-yard gain on that pass reception. They'll run it again with Reed. Reed looks for space. He's hit near the line of scrimmage. Will fall forward for 1, maybe 2 yards with a good spot.
Yeah, they did not give the good spot that you were hoping for. It's only a gain of 1. Arkadelphia being somewhat conservative here, running the ball, keeping the ball inbounds.
Hand off to Reed again. Same play. Flag's down, but he breaks through and is going to have a nice gain. 1st down yardage, but let's see what the flag is.
Came from the umpire. Don't know if it was
It's going to be against Arkadelphia. Blocking penalty of some kind.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what the umpire signaled, but I don't know what. It was really quick also, so. No mouthpiece. Read his lips. It said no mouthpiece.
Wow.
So one of the Badger players must have still had the mouthpiece clipped to the helmet.
Well, that'll back them up to the 34-yard line. 2nd down, 14 yards to go now. I don't think that mistake will be repeated. Badgers line up in a tight formation this time, but McCoy wants to throw deep. Across the middle, post pattern, Wagner to the 5. Braden Wagner in the end zone, touchdown Arkadelphia. Beautiful pass by McCoy, touchdown Wagner.
It was a great route by Wagner. He got inside leverage on the defensive back. Good protection by the offensive line, which led to the ability for Bryson McCoy to stand in there and just deliver a strike to McCoy in stride.
Badgers line up for an extra point with Seth Molinari. He is perfect on the night. Again, what a kicker he has been. Mr. Consistency. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is a line drive shot this time, but it does go through. So Arkadelphia with 7 more, and the Badgers lead it now 42-0 over Ashdown with 4:01 left here in the second quarter. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
The Law Offices of Gina White is a proud supporter of the Arkadelphia Badgers. Need help in divorce and custody litigation? insurance defense, contract disputes, product liability, or other general litigation needs. Contact the law offices of Gina White at 870-246-6796 to see how they can help you. Located at 406 Clay Street in Arkadelphia. The law offices of Gina White says, Go Badgers.
Back to the action. Arkadelphia set to kick off.
Uh-oh, Jeff, I dropped my phone. I don't know if we can move around and play Tetris and Twister enough for me to get down there and get the phone.
I think he's got it.
Yeah.
No turnover. We've still got the phone. Molinari's set to kick off for Arkadelphia, and the Badger kick coverage team will try to watch that sprint around the wide side. It got to him last time.
French is in that same spot because they know Arkadelphia's kicks to this deep left every time.
Oh, dropped the ball, picked up at the 8-yard line. There's a return to the 13-yard line. Not a lot of space, and they're going to knock him out close to the 20-yard line. He'll get up after the hard hit on the return that time for Ashdown.
It was French again.
Was French. They changed his number?
No, it just got bunched up.
Oh, okay. That 6 suddenly looked like a 2.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, Ashdown lines up at the 22-yard line.
Take a few runs and get this clock down. They probably would love to get to halftime quickly. I would.
Quarterback Williamson, next to him to his left is Fricks. Fricks gets the carry up the middle. Well, there's just no room up the middle. Arkadelphia stands him up, just waiting for the whistle to blow, and it finally does. Finally does.
Nothing's going to happen. Let's just blow the whistle, let everybody stop.
Yeah, there wasn't any more pushing forward at that point.
They did not give Ashdown a first down, though, after a 2-yard gain like they did Arkadelphia earlier.
Ball at the 24, back of the football touching the 24-yard line. Second down, 8 yards to go. Ashdown really tried hard to score. They had 3 drives. 2 ended in turnovers. The other one done in by penalties. So they have not scored on the evening. Williamson will hand off again. Fricks looking for space, and he will not find very much. Stopped short of the 30-yard line. Third down coming up. Chris, I can't see the scoreboard, but our clock is moving, and that's probably not bad news for Ashdown. Looks like they would like this half to be over.
Yeah, they are running the play clock down to the last second before they snap the ball. 23 seconds still on the play clock, so this will be around 2:10, most likely, when they snap the ball, unless they go a little bit quicker.
All right. Tried to get Arkadelphia to jump off sides and pick up a first down. Instead, they will snap it this time. There's a run by Thompson. He'll break a tackle, breaks another tackle. That's a very good run. Up to the 50-yard line. He's got speed down the sideline. Arkadelphia will pull him down at the 17-yard line of the Badgers. What a fine run by the young running back. That is Thompson. He's a senior, but he had a good run.
Yeah, he did. He got outside there down the left side and just really was able to turn on the jets and get to the longest gain, the biggest gain of the night for Ashdown. Arkadelphia did a nice job of tracking them down. Braden Wagner was there, and I believe it was Quintavion Morris or Jaden McKenzie who was able to make that tackle. Jaden McKenzie, because now he comes out to get a breather, and Orion Roberts comes in at corner. Now if you're Arkadelphia, you're glad you got that 42 because now you can afford a touchdown to keep it at 35. Ooh.
Williamson hands off, and they're going to lose yardage on this play, way back to the 26-yard line. Good pursuit by Arkadelphia once again.
Wimberly read that one. He got inside the blocker that was lined up with him, and he was able to catch Thompson in the backfield to force a loss of almost 6 on that one.
Yeah, we'll call it 6. Second down, 16 yards to go for Ashdown at the 26-yard line of Arkadelphia.
Catch the clock up. We're at 1 minute and 30 seconds left. 32.
Badgers do not want to give up any points. He'll look over the defense, back up. He wants to throw. Now the quarterback's going to run, but he's just got nowhere to go. They're going to tackle him right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a couple more. And he's a little slow in getting up.
He is taking some hits. He's going to come off, and they're going to put Fricks in at quarterback.
We don't know how well Fricks can pass. He did not warm up as a quarterback before the game, but he has played quarterback before and just run from the position. And now they're going to bring in their backup quarterback. And their backup quarterback looked pretty good in warm-ups. He's only a sophomore, Shooter Johnson.
Well, it's a great name.
Shooter Johnson, a tall sophomore.
Hope he plays basketball, too.
I would have to believe he does, and maybe his father does, too. Back to pass. Shooter looking deep downfield. Will throw it deep down the right side, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, Kelton Wilson did a tremendous job on that one of staying there, catching up, actually. Caught up. The receiver had a step on Kelton Wilson. Wilson caught up and got his hand up and knocked that pass out. That was going to be a touchdown. Tremendous job of playing the ball by Kelton Wilson and forcing that incompletion with the pass breakup.
25 seconds left before halftime. Not afraid to let the sophomore throw the ball. Shooter Johnson checking in. When the starter, Williamson was a little bit slow, but Williamson's okay. He's standing on the sideline. Here's another pass to the flat on the right side. That ball is tipped and incomplete.
And it was into the hands of Fricks. He jumped up, probably didn't need to, but it just had a chance to catch it twice. Did not. It was short of the first down, but he might have been able to get first down yardage, but instead it was an incomplete pass, and Arkadelphia will most likely either hand this one off and take a knee and get to halftime.
20 seconds left in the first half. Arkadelphia 42. Ashdown 0.
They're not a sponsor, but I have an Equate cough drop.
Greatly appreciate the cough drop. Thank you. I think the wasp spray is getting to me. First down and 10, Arkadelphia.
There are more dead wasps in this. They're about 35, I'd say, and that's not exaggerating too much.
Reed on the run. He got about 3. Yeah, I'd rather the wasp spray get to me than the wasp, so that's okay.
Mercifully, the first half is going to come to an end, Jeff.
Rolling clock in the second half. Arkadelphia will let it expire, will not have to run another play. We have reached halftime. It's Arkadelphia 42, Ashdown 0. That's not a score we're used to calling in this matchup. Long-time opponents, Arkadelphia and Ashdown. Arkadelphia has the advantage tonight. And we'll have the good sportsmanship rule, a rolling clock in the second half. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
With over 25 years of experience in the financial services industry, Bell Wealth Services believes in a face-to-face business model. Blake is a third-generation AHS grad and a lifelong Badger supporter. Value can mean different things for different situations. Bell Wealth Services aims to add value in any financial situation. Contact Bell Wealth Services at 870-464-1167 or at 408 Court Street. Raymond James Financial Services, Incorporated, FINRA SIPC.
Hey, this is Pastor Rick Mays at Trinity Temple Assembly of God, extending an invitation to you and your family to join us for a weekend experience. Come join us in worship. Come join us for some great teaching and preaching. We have kids' church, we have nursery, everything's available for all ages of the family. So this weekend, come join us, or any weekend, come join us on Sundays. You can see us at ttag.church. Join us online if you can't come in person. So God bless and go Badgers.
Located at 214 North 25th Street in Arkadelphia, Providence Veterinary Care is a full-service clinic offering complete medical care for your pets, including preventative care, routine surgery, and in-house diagnostics. Our staff at Providence Veterinary Care is filled with passionate animal lovers who are highly trained and dedicated to making sure that your pets receive care and compassion every time they walk in the door. Visit us or give us a call at 870-464-1305. Providence Veterinary Care. Compassionate care, modern medicine.
Chicken Express is a proud supporter of not just the Badgers, but all things Arkadelphia, from elementary to college, and from community activities to church groups. Chicken Express is always willing to support and assist the people in our town. The next time you visit Chicken Express, thank them for their involvement in our community, and definitely don't leave without getting a cup of their Chicken E sweet tea. Located right off exit 73, stop by Chicken Express for your next meal.
At the Sexton Law Firm, we have experience handling insurance dispute cases and we're well equipped to handle the tactics used by insurance companies to avoid honoring valid claims. The Sexton Law Firm is dedicated to helping individuals fight for the relief they deserve. We work hard to ensure your rights are protected and your case is handled with the respect and care you deserve. The next time you need help battling an insurance company, contact an attorney with the Sexton Firm. Drop by and see us at 107 North 26th Street or give us a call at 870-345-4123.
It's halftime here in Ashdown. Arkadelphia leading at 42-0 over the Ashdown Panthers. The Arkadelphia High School Band be performing in just a moment. We're going to bring you that halftime show. But we are so glad to tell you about somebody that we know. Millie Babb is the Southern Bancorp Student of the Week. Student of the Week, Southern Bancorp. She's a color guard captain for the Badger Pride Marching Band. She's in FBLA, Black History Month Committee. She's also been on the homecoming court and an interviewer on her own Badger Football with Trey Shucker show. And after graduation, she plans to attend Ouachita Baptist University and major in nursing. So Millie Babb, congratulations for that honor, Southern Bancorp Student of the Week. She's also on the field right now because we're just about to bring you the halftime show brought to you by the award-winning, the top-rated Arkadelphia High School Marching Band.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, the Badger Pride Marching Band got all ones at this past week. Coleman almost lost Coleman at the Region Marching Assessment at Lake Hamilton. They qualified for the state marching contest, and the 4A contest will be Monday, November 4th at War Memorial Stadium. I don't want to tell you the incorrect time. It's 12:45 or 1:45, and my phone fell again, so I can't look it up. And so we will turn it over to the field and the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band.
Tonight, the Badger Pride Marching Band is pleased to present their 2024 production entitled Alcatraz, Escape from the Rock. And now, sit back and enjoy the Badger Pride Marching Band. Arkadelphia High School band is under the direction of band directors Larry Brown, Andrea Green, and Jonathan Spencer. The color guard is under the direction of Orion Sims. Drumline is under the direction of Aaron Steele. Adjunct staff includes Kyle White, Jed DeWeber, and Cameron Maygood. This week's outstanding band performers include outstanding veteran Dominic Brunfield, outstanding freshman Jake Nelson, outstanding percussionist DeAndre Hogg, outstanding color guard Spirit Golden, and outstanding leader Jancy Thomas. We hope that you've enjoyed this performance of the Badger Pride Marching Band.
That was the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band with a fantastic performance. Again, they will be at the state marching competition as they qualified for that just this week at the Region Marching Assessment, I believe, on Monday, November 4th. So look out for that, and I know they would love. It's in the afternoon, so it's not at night like it has been at the past. That's when 4A, the time was for 4A this year. So we would love to have you support the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band at War Memorial Stadium on the afternoon of November 4th. Look at the Arkadelphia High School Facebook page for more information on that. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have Jim Rothwell with some first-half statistics. Your halftime score, Arkadelphia 42, Nashville 0. Back with the Southern Bancorp halftime show after this timeout.
Imagine a place where children can feel safe, a place where kids are empowered and accepted. In this place, you are special, you are unique, you are loved. Imagine a place where you can have fun every single day. We are that place.
Scott Bird DDS is a true general dentistry practice with a comfortable, laid-back atmosphere. Led by Dr. Scott Bird, they've been serving the people of Arkadelphia for over 20 years. It's a simple philosophy: treat every patient the way they would want to be treated, with clear communication and honesty. Their comprehensive care ensures that all your dental needs are met under one roof, providing convenience and quality you can count on. Scott Bird DDS General Dentistry at 7th and Caddo, 870-246-6745.
It's halftime here in Ashdown. The Ashdown Band on the field now. What a great performance by the Arkadelphia High School Marching Band. This is Jeff Root. Along with me is Jim Rothwell. He'll go over stats in a moment. But first, Jim, we got to say, an amazing job by the Arkadelphia High School Marching Band tonight.
It really was. They're good and they're ready to do well as they move forward with the next competition.
We know a large number of people tune in for football every week on this broadcast, this live stream broadcast that we bring you. A lot of folks tuning in also to watch the band, and we were glad here on the road. We're on the home side, so we had a chance to bring the band to you. You see the Ashdown Band on the field now. MJ Hurd was a captain for the football team. Offensive lineman, plays some defensive line too. He's also the drum major, so he's out there. It can be easy to direct a band in shoulder pads, but he's going to need those shoulder pads in the second half when Arkadelphia and Ashdown go back to work here in just a moment. Let's look at stats. Ashdown is not without some yardage, Jim. They've just not been able to put a score together.
And that's true, Jeff. Some big plays, a couple of big runs, some key passes completed for first down, spreading the ball around a little bit. But overall, the quarterback was 6 out of 12 for 44 yards. Running backs, Tomlinson probably has been the most impressive, 6 for 60, I believe. He had a long run down to around the 10-yard line, I believe, earlier. And then the quarterback also made a long run on catching the secondary, backed off a little bit, and the linebackers coming blitzing a little bit there. But it's been turnovers, penalties, and big plays by the Arkadelphia defense with sacks. It seems like every time they get something going, Arkadelphia's defense, that defensive line comes through and just creates a lost play, and you have a 3-yard gain and then you lose 6, and that just throws you off your schedule. Did get to see both quarterbacks for for Ashdown, and the sophomore looked really good. He's got a strong arm. He reminds me a little bit arm-wise of Arkadelphia's quarterback McCoy. Got a strong arm, tall, and that we may see more of him in the second half just to get him some experience.
It could be.
Could be, and might as well throw the ball. It's clock's on to run anyway, so we may see that. For Arkadelphia, it is again sort of the same thing. Just solid play by the offensive line. 13 rushes for 104 yards. Reed has had a big night. He's been okay, but tonight he's come through with 71 yards on 13 carries. He's carrying the load there. Receivers spreading around in the catches. Wagner's had a big night, 3 receptions for 66 yards and 2 TDs. And then Orion Roberts had the 1 reception for a big play there, and I believe that was about 84 yards, if I remember right, or 86. So a TD there. And again, McCoy is a sophomore quarterback, very accurate. I have him 6 out of 8. I think he's only missed 2 passes, and then he would have, with the long play, he would have about 150 yards. So
it seems game after game here in the conference, Arkadelphia has forced the good sportsmanship rule on the other team most of the time by halftime. So you get into that situation that Chris talked about with Coach Shucker in the pregame show. You want your starting players to know what it's like to play a full game, because in the playoffs or against Malvern, you figure you're going to have to do that. But at the same time, you don't want to run up a score, and it's already 42-0. So we might see some of the starters for a little while longer, but then we're going to see a lot of the younger players. And, of course, a guy named Caden Whitaker is probably going to take over at some point at running back. He's already proven to be quite a weapon for Arkadelphia.
That's right. Probably some of your skilled players are going to stay in there. Obviously, the quarterback, because he's a sophomore, and you want him to be on the field as much as he can, continuing to learn, experience different situations. Offensive line, we'll probably see quite a few of the younger guys on the offensive line. They've tended to do that. That's great. You never know when somebody's going to go down or somebody's and just getting them ready for next year. It's great to have them. But you do want your starters to have a feel for being under a little bit of pressure. They haven't had that in several weeks. Probably with Malvern, there'll be a little bit of that, and that's good going into the playoffs.
And if you missed the pregame show, part of that discussion was from Coach Shucker just simply saying, what we're going to do is compete against each other even more in practice, go ones against ones on occasion, so each offense and defense can see really fine players on the other side of the ball. Not that Ashdown doesn't have some fine players. They have some great speed, but they don't have the depth. They don't have the offensive-defensive line to really compete well with Arkadelphia tonight, hence 42-0 here at halftime.
That's been the difference. When you've got 26, 27 players and you've got a total of maybe 11 linemen altogether, it's hard to go through a whole game, particularly if you're having to play both ways. Several of them obviously are doing that. And we'll see that a little bit in the second half too, that wear and tear takes a little bit of a toll in the second half.
We are getting close to second half action. I'm going to bring you a few scores as we have them come in. In fact, Nashville has a 30-3 lead over Harmony Grove, that Haskell Harmony Grove team that Arkadelphia was able to dominate, now being dominated again this week. We've got other scores coming up. Fountain Lake 42-6. Oh, that's an older score. Let's go to Malvern 42, Fountain Lake 6. There you go. 30 seconds left in the first half. So Malvern looks strong tonight. It seemed to me with the lineup tonight, it's pretty evident that there were heavy favorites in each game.
I would think so. And again, I believe usually Nashville plays Malvern right before we play them. And so that will be a good test for Malvern going into that last game. And it'll set up, hopefully, probably a big showdown between Malvern and Arkadelphia.
Bauxite's going to be looking for a win again tonight to try to solidify their chances of being the playoffs also. Well, I'll tell you what, this has been an exciting game, a lot of scoring for Arkadelphia, very good defense, including a defensive touchdown, special teams playing well on the offense is scoring a lot of points. Badgers looking very, very fine here at halftime. When we come back, we'll have second half action. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Great coaches know that success on the field takes more than just athletic ability. It takes a winning strategy. And at Southern Bancorp, we believe the same applies to banking. Whether you need competitive rates on loans and accounts to keep you in the game, or financial tools like credit counseling and homebuyer education to move the ball down the field, we can help. Visit banksouthern.com today and let's build your winning strategy. Southern Bancorp, wealth builders for everyone.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia. As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Go Badgers!
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
Welcome back to, I think I broke my headset there we go. I broke my headset when I dropped it. There's not a ledge. This just to give you guys a little bit more inside baseball at home. Our ledge is slanted, so not only are we
with no lip
crowded, so it's slanted, so all our stuff just tends to slide, and there's no lip on it to hold. So my phone is taking a beating tonight. It still works because I'm still getting messages either thanks for the entertainment or hey, you're muted. Jeff, before we get to there it went again. Before we get to the second half, let's go ahead and look at the playoffs. Arkadelphia will be home against Genoa Central next week, and then that will set up the matchup with Malvern. Malvern goes to Nashville next week. The reason that Malvern-Arkadelphia game will be so big, even if something happened and Nashville were to beat Malvern next week, you still have to win that game to be the 1 seed. And the way the bracket sets up for the state playoffs for this year, the 1 seed from the 4A7 is opposite who we expect to be the 1 seed from the 4A1, Elkins, the 1 seed from the 4A8, Warren, and the 1 seed from the 4A2, Mills. And in every poll that there really is across the state, Elkins, Warren, Mills, and Arkadelphia are somewhere. I think Elkins is kind of the consensus number 1 team in the state. Warren, Mills, and Arkadelphia. I think Rex Nelson has Mills at number 1. But Elkins or Mills has been 1. Arkadelphia, Mills, Warren have been 2, 3, or 4. And so if you're able to win the 4A7 this year, you're going to be on the opposite side of the bracket from what everybody assumes are 3 of the top 4 or 5 teams in the state. So that will be a big matchup. You also look at how that would play out. Arkadelphia would have a first-round home game, would go on the road to the winner of the 4A4, which right now is Mina, who's 7-0 going into tonight. But then you'd be home for a couple of weeks if you were to win that. So we're to the point now where we can talk about playoffs starting in week 1, right? Coaches and players can't. But you do start getting into some of the figuring of everything. How are seeds all going to shake out in this conference and other conferences? And so before we got into the third quarter, which is brought to us by Providence Veterinary Care, I wanted to kind of throw that out there as people could start thinking and doing a lot of the stuff you do when playoffs come around and start playing and figuring.
Tremendously important information from you, Chris, because those are three fine teams, and you'd only have to play one if they all line up on the other side of the bracket. Here's a kickoff return to begin the second half of action. This is French on the return. He escapes two tacklers but can't move forward past the 23-yard line. First down and 10 for Ashdown.
I think we will see the ones come in for a series or two. This is kind of what we talked about with Coach Shucker in the pregame show. And talking to Cooper Darr, Coach Shucker asked Cooper Darr when we were filming one of the Inside Badger football episodes that you can find on the APSD YouTube channel each week. He asked him, he said, when Cooper played at Shiloh, did you come across issues like this? And he said, yeah. He said, there was a season where we played about a quarter and a half for a lot of our games, and I think it caught up to us in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the
got to play the full game of the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's a tough spot for coaches to be in, to try to figure out how best to get your players ready, but also just navigate everything else that comes with big wins and blowouts.
Running play to the right side, no gain on first down. The starting quarterback will not come in. This is the backup, but he's a good one. He's a sophomore. Shooter Johnson is in at quarterback for Ashdown. Tall quarterback, can throw the ball. We'll see if he'll put it in the air on second down and 10. Box still says first down. It is second down and 10. Johnson gets the snap, does look to pass. He'll fire the ball and throw it high over the head of his intended receiver. That would be French. Incomplete. It's second. Now make it third down and 10. Let's fix the box. Third and 10, guys.
Yeah,
there you go.
There you just skipped the two. Yep, French and Shooter were on a different page there. Shooter Johnson threw a little bit deeper, thought French was going to keep running that route. French broke it off, and the throw went about 10 yards past him.
Shooter Johnson's going to be a guy we might see in the future, although the starting quarterback, Williamson's a good runner, and he's only a junior, so they got a couple of guys that can play quarterback. It is third down and 10, passing situation. Badgers kind of licking their chops here, looking for another turnover. Pass into the flat, incomplete. He got it out there quickly, but missed his intended target. The intended target for Ashdown was Jaden Brown. Punting situation. And they will bring in Ziegler to do the punting. Wagner, really good punt returner, stands at his own 50-yard line, or at the 50-yard line. Thought it was in Canada there for a moment. His own 50-yard line. Line drive shot going to go over Wagner and take a big bounce for Ashdown all the way down to the 25. He'll stop it there. And it is first down and 10 Badgers, but a long punt because of a long roll.
A long roll, and I like what Braden Wagner did there. He chased the ball down and went ahead and fielded it and went down. Saved, the way that ball was bouncing, probably saved about 10 yards there of field position. Ultimately, in a game like right now, doesn't matter a whole lot. But I kind of like the way he did that. He didn't try to pick it up and return it and risk getting hit. He just went at the ball, slid with it, secured possession, and saved Arkadelphia, almost, close to what could be 10 yards. Maddox Finley in at quarterback for Arkadelphia. You go with some of the second-string offensive line. Caden Whitaker in at running back as well.
Whitaker, the very fine sophomore. Finley plays wide receiver and is the backup quarterback. He's a junior. Running play by Whitaker. He's hit by a defender, thrown down. He will have a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards on the play.
Try to bring you the names of some of these offensive linemen on the field for Arkadelphia. Jacob Calhoun running center for Arkadelphia. Ashton Hayes at the left guard. Cameron Crow at left tackle.
Running play by Whitaker. He'll escape one tackler, fall forward, and it's going to be third down and short. He made it to the 37. They might give him the 38-yard line. An Ashdown player is slow in getting up. He is going to try to stay in the game. Let's see if he can. Third down, they're going to need 2 yards.
Yeah, no, he can't.
He is not going to continue, so they're going to have to stop play for a moment. And we will stop and give you a break also. Third down coming back up here early in the third quarter when we come back. It's Arkadelphia 42, Ashdown 0. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
All right.
Thank you to the Ruckers, as always, and all of our sponsors. What a great thing to have sponsors who support Arkadelphia High School, the Arkadelphia Badgers, so well year after year in bringing you this live stream. Arkadelphia lines up now. Third down. They need a couple. McCoy at quarterback. Whitaker, the sophomore, is his running back. He'll bring Alexander in motion to the right side, top of your screen. And there's the snap. Ooh, he dropped the snap. He's going to fall on it. And fourth down is coming for the Badgers.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication that time there from Finley at quarterback. And Arkadelphia have a 4th and 7 situation. Also in the offensive line for Arkadelphia, Tyrell Jones. And then Dominic Brumfield. Looks like Finley might drop back and punt.
He backs up a step or two, and he will kick the ball away. It's a good kick by Finley. Bounces at the 40 to the 35. It'll roll down to the Ashdown 30-yard line and stop there. First down and 10 for the Panthers, and Arkadelphia's defense is back on the field. This defense, again, throwing a shutout, and the starters are expecting some of the younger guys coming in to keep that shutout alive.
Some of those starters wanted to go back in there, but not gonna happen. Bring you some of these names: Jakari Wade, Clark Wingfield. Do still have Lance Gully in there as one of the tackles, and then the other defensive tackle, if he'll turn around, the defensive end, we'll be able to see. I think that is Hunter Yarber. Ethan Lewis at linebacker, Carson Brawley in at linebacker, Colton Plyler, one of the safeties, Kelton Wilson, and Orion Roberts still the corners.
They're going to hand it off and try to run at Arkadelphia with Ziegler. He'll make 2 yards and then be driven back. The younger Badgers looking strong defensively on that play. Second down.
This is a group that wants to come out and do a good job and keep Ashdown out of the end zone. They gave up a late touchdown last week. And they weren't pleased with that, so they're going to want to come out and get a stop and get the ball back over to the offense again.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the 32-yard line for Ashdown. We are more than halfway through the third quarter already. The clock does continue to roll, and the good sportsmanship rule. Quarterback, Shooter Johnson, only a sophomore. He will fire it into the flat, and it's incomplete. Again, a chance to complete a pass. He threw it kind of hard, but getting both hands on it and not pulling it in was Jaden Brown.
And Ethan Lewis was there for Arkadelphia. The outside linebacker read that nicely out of Shooter Johnson's hand and was closing on the receiver to make the tackle. Now it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that might have been a loss of yardage had he caught the ball. Young quarterback looks to the sideline. Now they're going to set up the 4 receivers in the formation.
Well, and Ashdown, I mentioned it at the end of the first half, but they are running that play clock all the way down. Just now 10 seconds left as they come to the line.
Ziegler is the running back to the left of his quarterback. Shooter Johnson is back, and he'll throw the ball downfield, and he will throw an incomplete pass. And that ball popped up into the air. Let's see if they call that an interception. It's being returned to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, inside the 5-yard line. Did that pop up? And I think they're going to call that an interception. I thought it hit the ground.
Well, it didn't. I don't think it did. There's a flag on the play. We've got one of the back judges standing still in the logo, on the logo at the 50. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here.
Well, that
probably have some blocking penalty on the return, but this back judge, he's still standing on the logo at the 50-yard line. So.
Yeah, the pass was low. He reached for it. I thought he tried to pull it.
I don't think he ever had possession of it.
No, I don't either. I thought he caught it on the short hop, but perhaps he caught it still in the air because they did not blow the whistle and call it dead.
We've got to be a half the distance, and then it looks like we have a personal foul on Ashdown and then another one Arkadelphia. So I'm reading the lips. He's saying let's go half the distance, and then we'll go back to the 17. So I think it'll be Arkadelphia's ball, 1st and 10 at the 17 after they settle all this stuff out.
Yeah, they are not debating whether or not this is an interception. It is. What a play by Arkadelphia. The ball popped up in the air after the receiver went low. He didn't dive for it, but he went low. It popped up into the air and was intercepted.
So, yeah, after the play. So the personal foul was during the play, so that's going to be marked half the distance. After the play, there was unsportsmanlike against Arkadelphia, and so that will put the ball at the 17-yard line.
And they are going to now debate where it belongs, but I think you're right. They're going to put it at the 17. There it is, 17-yard line for Arkadelphia. So another turnover. This defense has been really a fine turnover machine tonight.
Kelton Wilson defending on the pass. Carson Brawley was the linebacker who got the interception with the club fist.
That's it.
The casted hand. It was just a finger injury, but they casted it all the way up to the forearm. And so Brawley comes up with the interception, and Arkadelphia on offense. Finley back at quarterback.
And Whitaker next to him to his right. Caden Whitaker, very fine sophomore running back. From the 17 on first down, Arkadelphia gives it to Whitaker. He'll fall forward across the 15 to the 14. Well, the Badgers are going to keep playing. You know, you don't send people to practice just to kneel on the ball. They're not going to try to run up the score, but they are going to keep playing and let these young guys have a chance to do something special.
You know, I hear radio shows say all the time that we have clever listeners. Just got a good text from one of our sponsors. I'll leave a name. Actually, it's clever. I'll say it. Mark Manning. He said, "You lost the turnover battle tonight. You fumbled your phone 3 or 4 times already. Let's have a cleaner second half." And
I'm impressed that your phone still works.
I think I've fumbled it since he sent that too.
It's a unique setting we're in, but we got a view occasionally, and occasionally we have none. They're going to hand off again. Whitaker makes a nice cut to the 5. He's in the end zone. The sophomore has scored a touchdown for Arkadelphia. The Badgers get in for another score. Arkadelphia sends the extra point team on. Molinari is perfect tonight. They did have a missed 2-point conversion and a made 2-point conversion. Every other attempt has been an extra point by Molinari, and he's made them all. Snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is perfect. Arkadelphia has increased its lead to 49-0 over Ashdown as we are getting very close now to the end of the third quarter. I don't think we'll have a kickoff before we reach the fourth quarter.
No, they are stopping. They're not stopping the clock at all between the breaks, so that will take us to the end of the third.
Set up by a defensive interception on a amazing play, and then the run by Whitaker for the touchdown. The sophomore has scored tonight for Arkadelphia, and we have reached the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter action coming up. Arkadelphia 49, Ashdown 0. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Located at 214 North 25th Street in Arkadelphia, Providence Veterinary Care is a full-service clinic offering complete medical care for your pets, including preventative care, routine surgery, and in-house diagnostics. Our staff at Providence Veterinary Care is filled with passionate animal lovers who are highly trained and dedicated to making sure that your pets receive care and compassion every time they walk in the door. Visit us or give us a call at 870-464-1305. Providence Veterinary Care. Compassionate care, modern medicine.
Arkadelphia is set to kick off. They've done that a lot tonight. It's Arkadelphia 49 and Ashdown 0. This is an age-old matchup. Arkadelphia changes classifications. Ashdown does the same. Arkadelphia changes a conference. Ashdown does the same. They seem to have always played each other. I don't remember the last time it was 49-0 in this contest.
No, I don't either. I do remember a few years ago. In fact, you know, when we were looking at numbers about what Arkadelphia has done, I think this is the 21st consecutive conference game Arkadelphia has won. I'll have to look that up, 21st or 22nd. There's been one of those games that's been under the mercy rule. That was last year's Week 10 against Malvern when it was 55-35. The only other close one was Ashdown when Arkadelphia actually, I'm sorry, there are 2 games. The closest was Ashdown a few years ago when Arkadelphia got out to a huge lead, and then Ashdown, blow that whistle.
Yeah, Ziegler lost his helmet, and they have to blow the whistle when that happens.
Yeah, Ziegler did a fantastic job of, I mean, it wasn't a dirty play or anything. Ziegler did a fantastic job of evading that tackle and if his helmet stays on, he's probably going to have another 20 yards. But unfortunately, when it rains, it pours, and the helmet came off for Ziegler, and the official had to blow the whistle.
So the ball's on the 20-yard line. I just remember a lot of very talented Ashdown teams. Arkadelphia has been able to get the victory more often than not, and I mean for decades. But Ashdown has been a tough team at times. Well, always, but at times been able to take victories from Arkadelphia. Not tonight. 49-0 Badgers. Ashdown lines up with its sophomore quarterback, Shooter Johnson. He will hand it off. There's a speedy back looking for a hole to run through. He will find only 2 yards on the carry. He'll slide down.
L.J. Faulkner did a nice job of chasing Thompson down. Faulkner showing some of the closing speed, getting out from the from the secondary and making that tackle.
One of the team captains tonight. Ball at the 24-yard line. So you got 4 yards. Second down, 6 yards to go. Ashdown is not without talent, but they have had trouble avoiding turnovers, and they're going to have to improve. They do have a chance to be a playoff team. 2 conference wins so far. Back to pass. Looking for someone to throw it to is Scooter Johnson. He gets it to a receiver who's tackled immediately and as a result cannot quite get to the 30 for a first down.
Rightly so, but Johnson's just getting just a little bit of happy feet, and you understand why, because there has been so much pressure on Ashdown's quarterbacks tonight, but just getting a little happy feet and ready to get rid of the ball a little bit faster than he has to. But he did find the receiver there. Nice tackle by Malachi Hamilton to make it 3rd and short instead of first down.
Hudson Hillis on the reception, his first of the night for Ashdown. They need 1 yard, 3rd down and 1. Back to pass. He wants to throw to the sideline, and it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of French, and that's 4th down.
Yeah, and Ashdown's at the point tonight. They've haven't had a ton of opportunities, but when they've had them, they've not been able to make the play. Obviously, we had a couple in the first half that would have been a first down, and going in to the halftime break could have been a possible extended drive, and that could have that would have extended the drive, gotten a first down, a new set of downs, built some momentum going into the rest of the game and on to next week.
And they are lined up to go for it on 4th and 1. Let's see if that's what they do. Oh, they get Arkadelphia to jump off sides, it would appear. Is going to be offsides against Arkadelphia, and that will give them a first down. Well, that worked out. Doesn't always work. But the quarterback congratulating the offensive line for not moving, and that is the first down for Ashdown by penalty. Ball to the 34-yard line, first down and 10. I haven't seen too many mistakes by Arkadelphia tonight, but about 3 linemen moved that time. Shooter Johnson at quarterback.
Would like to say thanks to our 4th quarter sponsor, Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone.
Carried to the right side, hit in the backfield, and tackled is Thompson.
Hunter Yarber, the sophomore defensive end from the right side, came untouched. The play went to the right side of the Ashdown formation. Yarber came from the backside and was able to tackle Thompson almost as soon as he got that handoff. Fantastic play from Hunter Yarber, the sophomore.
Some depth on the defensive line, my goodness.
On the
2nd and 12.
On the other end of that side, Jakari Wade and Clark Wingfield held their end of the defensive line up and keeping Thompson from being able to stretch anything out, kept him in the backfield for Yarber.
On 2nd and 12, Shooter Johnson wants to pass. He looks deep. He's under pressure. He will throw it to the sideline, and it is incomplete. Dropped again. Would not have gotten much, maybe a yard or 2, but another drop. I think Shooter's stats are not going to look as good as they should. He's had a few drops tonight, and he's going to have to throw again on 3rd down and long. Clock continues to roll, down to 7 minutes and change left in this football game. Arkadelphia 49, Ashdown 0. Ashdown 2-2 in conference coming into this game. They've won 3 on the year, looking for more and not finding it tonight. Back to pass. Johnson will throw it across the middle, and it is incomplete. Well defended.
Kelton Wilson defending French on that one. I think Ashdown's fans may have been hoping that they could have gotten a courtesy flag there, but nice play by Kelton Wilson playing corner on the very talented French. Good coverage. It met him right as the ball got there.
Yeah, I think they both got a little bit of the football that time, and it fell incomplete. You're going to punt this time. Ziegler's back to do the kicking. Here his kick. Bouncer at the 39-yard line. It will roll inside the 30. It will roll down to the 35, 34-yard line. 24-yard line. Quite a kick. First down and 10 for the Badgers. Clock is rolling, but this offense for Arkadelphia, young guys have a chance to continue to get some good experience and prove themselves. We're under 6 minutes to play. Clock continues to roll in the good sportsmanship rule. Going to be an early finish tonight. It's just 8:48.
A couple of fist pumps in the press box here. Finley back at quarterback, and I believe that's Whitaker. Yep.
Here's a handoff. Whitaker makes a good cut. He'll fall forward to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 6. He's a good-looking young running back. Second down, 4 yards to go. Arkadelphia kept it on the ground, got good yardage on first down. Finley is the quarterback. And he will hand it off to Whitaker. Whitaker hitting the backfield this time. Will lose a yard back to the 29-yard line, and a flag goes down at the end of the play. Not sure what that was.
Yeah, that's going to be on Ashdown. The slot receiver for Arkadelphia, Nate Alexander, I think he just got hit way after the play. Yeah, personal foul on Ashdown. And Nate Alexander just kind of looked at the guy and it's like, what are you doing? Nate's not going to respond like he should in a game situation. I think he just almost kind of got cheap shot at a little frustration play there for Ashdown, but the look on Nate's face was like he just kind of turned around, looked at the guy and said, what in the world did you just do that for?
Yeah, he didn't hurt him at all.
No, but he did get caught.
Picked up the 15 yards and a first down for Arkadelphia. They'll spot the ball at the 44. And the officials are talking to each other. And now we're going to move on. Here we go. First down, Maddox at quarterback. In motion comes Alexander. They're going to give it to him. Alexander goes to the left side, looks for a hole, will not find one, and he'll be driven down. Loss on the play. Alexander trying to show some speed on the outside, but they were ready for him that time.
Right, the right defensive end for Ashdown. Just lost his number. Landon Flood. Should I say it? Flooded the right side of the, sorry.
I think you did say it.
I did say it, but just really kept Alexander's not able, it didn't enable him to cut it upfield and just had to keep stringing it out.
Running play for Whitaker, and he'll go down also. Ooh.
There he was again.
What in the world? I don't see a flag, but I think I should.
They're going to, the officials and the Ashdown head coach are going to.
One of the Badgers slow in getting up as well.
Yeah.
For some reason, very late coming in was a secondary member for Ashdown. I don't know if he thought he was jumping on a fumble or what, but he made a very late hit.
I think he had Nate wrapped up by the pads and just drove him into the pile, and I think that's why he was taken off the field by the Ashdown coaches and mutually by the officials said, let's just get him out for a play.
Whitaker is the one that was shaken up. He's going to walk off the field.
Yeah, Malachi Hamilton will be the new running back in for Arkadelphia. Another running back that has not seen action for Arkadelphia. This will be if Arkadelphia gives the ball to Hamilton, it'll be his first carry, but I know the coaches were excited about the prospects of Hamilton possibly being in the mix in the backfield. He was the defensive player of the week last week.
Well, the Ashdown coaches have done a good thing here. They've had quite a little talk with the defensive unit. I think they're talking about staying within the rules as well as continuing to play hard for the rest of the ballgame. The rest of the ballgame is only 2 minutes and 43 seconds away. Hamilton is in. I think Whitaker's okay. He did walk off the field, but he was shaken up a bit. He's the one that took the brunt of the late hit. Run into the line of scrimmage, Hamilton. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, all the way up to the 49-yard line.
Boy, you give – if Hamilton gets in the mix, you're going to get Moody back at some point. You really have some strong runners. He is a downhill runner. Hamilton, I was on the field before the game. He is a large fella with a strong lower half.
It is fourth down. After the two lost plays, they had third and long, so they got fourth down. They need 4.5 yards. They're going to hand it to Hamilton. He's hit immediately in the backfield. He breaks one tackle, breaks another. He's still going, but will not make the first down. Got out of the backfield and got a yard gain, but it'll go over to Ashdown, and an Ashdown player is slow in getting up. Now we are down to 1:37 left in the contest.
Hamilton almost broke that, Jeff. He was stopped in the backfield, which would have been a loss of 2, and then he ended up breaking that tackle, and he was one ankle tackle away from breaking that one and a first down and possibly more.
Ethan Warner is slow in getting up for Ashdown, but it looks like he's going to walk off the field and be okay. That's good to see. Both teams, I think, just about ready for this one to end, maybe both coaches. Down to 30 seconds left. Clock stopped momentarily.
Minute 30.
Is it a minute 30?
Yep.
See, I can't see the scoreboard. I would like there to be 30. Is there anything I can do about that?
Let's have that official just roll that beautiful, run that beautiful clock.
All right, a minute 30.
You've got to get set. Here he goes. He's going to pump it and roll it. There we go.
All right.
We could go in victory formation and just end the thing.
I think they're going to let the freshman throw the ball again. Looking for a score. They've been shut out. They don't want that to happen. No, I'm wrong. They're going to hand off. That is Ziegler. Ziegler is going to run into 4 or 5 Badgers, and he'll make about 3 yards, and it will be 2nd and 7, and very little time left now. Going to hit 1 minute momentarily.
Minute 7.
Nobody's in a hurry. They don't need to be. It's 49-0. I guess we're kind of in a hurry, Chris. They're not winding up in a hurry. We'll put it that way.
When you're watching videos, you can hit the button that times 2 that kind of speeds things up. Maybe we can do that with this one.
Wow.
One last play, most likely, for this one.
What a game for the Arkadelphia Badgers. Big crowd on the visiting side. Enjoyed this contest for Arkadelphia. There's a handoff. Right up the middle is Ziegler, and he's going to gain, well, nothing. He stopped at the line of scrimmage and thrown backwards.
Yep, Jakari Wade and Clark Wingfield there from the left side of the line, and that will be the last play.
Sure does look like it. That will be the last play of the game. The final score, Arkadelphia 49 and Ashdown 0. Arkadelphia moves to 5-0, 6-2 overall. Of course, those 2 games against upper division teams. But 6-2 overall, 5-0 in conference play with 2 more games left in the regular season. Chris, nothing but success so far in this conference race. 2 more games to go. Next week, a heavy favorite. The week after that, the big showdown with Malvern.
Yep, next week on the road, at home. Yeah, at home at Genoa Central. At home versus Genoa Central. Senior night was last week because, just weren't quite sure. Pliers. Did Chase Conroy leave a pair of pliers in here? We're going to call him out in front of everybody who's still watching. Chase, if your pliers are here, I'll bring him to the bus. How about that?
No, I need him to cut the huddle thing.
Oh, well, we'll have to look.
Well, part of the problem is that there's not really a light in this room.
That's true. We'll see if we can help you find your pliers. And I have no clue what I was talking about before we started looking for Chase's pliers.
Could be a good time to take a break, Chris.
Yeah, how about that?
Let's do that.
All right, go into the post-game show. Blend Real Estate post-game show will be coming up after this break. You're watching Arkadelphia Badger football. The Badgers win 49-0. Blend Real Estate post-game show coming up after this.
Chicken Express is a proud supporter of not just the Badgers, but all things Arkadelphia, from elementary to college and from community activities to church groups. Chicken Express is always willing to support and assist the people in our town. The next time you visit Chicken Express, thank them for their involvement in our community, and definitely don't leave without getting a cup of that Chicken E sweet tea. Located right off exit 73, stop by Chicken Express for your next meal.
The Pliers have been found. They were down there on the floor with my phone where it spent half the game. This is the Blend Luxury Real Estate post-game show. Your score, your final score, Arkadelphia 49. The Ashdown Panthers 0. Chris Babb, Jeff Root here. And Jeff, we've talked about as much about other stuff outside the game as we did the game tonight, but a great effort from Arkadelphia just coming out and setting the tone early again.
I think I should say that our good friend Kerry Garnett, the champion quarterback of the 1979 team, is good enough to sponsor the postgame show from his home in San Diego. And he usually, while we are doing our broadcast, he's usually covering a game, a high school game for a television station out in San Diego. But he covered one last night, so he was able to listen to our entire broadcast, Chris.
I'm sure he
and
was entertained.
He was able to hear some unusual goings-on tonight because we're in an unusual spot here in the box. But a great game for Arkadelphia at 49-0, the big win tonight. They came in knowing that they were the favorite. They played like the favorite. They took control, went to the good sportsmanship rule in the second half. Again, got a lot of time for the younger guys and hopefully enough time for the first team, which performed well on offense, defense, and special teams.
They did. You know, Kyle Reed with a couple of touchdowns. I know Jim will I'll give the headset to him here in a couple of minutes or a few seconds to give the final stats. But really effective offense again from Arkadelphia. I don't know how many plays they ran. I think it was probably more than 31 that they ran at Fountain Lake and scored the 11 touchdowns on 31 plays, but still executing offensively to a high degree. And in games that are not close, that's still what you want to see. I thought it was very important or very profound what Coach Shucker said, that you can't let, in the pregame show, you cannot let success beat you. And so the success during the regular season, you've got to stay in mentally where you need to be when playoff time comes. So I thought that was a thought, the really good thought is when you take into account that Arkadelphia has had some games that aren't close. You can't let that beat you later in the season.
It's really highly unusual in this conference to have this many consecutive games won by the good sportsmanship rule. Arkadelphia has been able to do that. And another one that very well could turn out that way next week against Genoa, which has just moved into 11-man football. And then the big showdown with Malvern. The key is you got to be ready to play 4 quarters against Malvern. They're a very good football team.
Right, Malvern defeating Harmony Grove. Oh, we could do play-by-play of the youngsters pile driving each other into the field after the game. But Malvern was defeating Harmony Grove 30-3. Excuse me, that was Nashville. Malvern was up 42-6 early in the third quarter over Fountain Lake. So Malvern will be undefeated going into next week's Nashville game at Nashville. Arkadelphia obviously undefeated in conference going into next week's final regular season home game against Genoa Central.
We're going to have Jim Rothwell in a moment on statistics. We're going to have more discussion, offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game, and a conversation with the head coach, Trey Shucker. All that coming your way next on the Blend Real Estate postgame show.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, loans, certificates, and financial counseling. Patterson is also a strong supporter of the Arkadelphia School District. We provide food for students in need, have donated funds for additional security measures, and can always be counted on when a need arises for students and staff. Serving Clark County for over 67 years, we pride ourselves on providing the highest quality service to our members and our community. Join us soon. You belong here.
This is the Blend Real Estate Kerry Garnett post-game show. Just got a nice note from Kerry out in San Diego. He enjoyed the win. I think he enjoyed the win especially because that senior year of Kerry's, it was Ashdown that was the only team that beat Arkadelphia. But because of that, I guess you could argue because of that, they had a really regrouping week under John Outlaw and did not lose again. Went right through the playoffs. John Outlaw's first year as head coach at Arkadelphia, got a championship in 1979. And so Kerry, remembering that, I think felt pretty good about a 49-0 Arkadelphia win over Ashdown tonight. As all Badger fans feel, the team really came through and played well. Ashdown competed well. They had some speed and made some yardage, but they could never make it across the goal line for a score tonight against that very strong Arkadelphia defense.
Again, the defense, we see the points on the board, and that's easy to look at. But when I look at the defense, they give up a little over, just barely over 100 yards, less than 2 yards of carry rushing. They held Fricks, who's a great athlete, to 22 yards. Thompson had quite a few carries as well, but several lost plays. Williamson had several carries. He had 18 yards, but lost plays, sacks played into that. They did their passing game. So many drops. I was surprised at that. Some of it was maybe passes were too hard, whatever. But the receivers dropped a lot of passes. And they ended up 7 out of 22, which is 32% for 48 yards. So that's not going to get you very far offensively. So again, the Arkadelphia defense coming through. That both, particularly on the line and the linebackers there, they are stopping the run. Occasionally there may be a long run. We saw a couple tonight. But overall, they are just shutting down the run, and the quarterbacks don't have time to throw.
Jim, there were 3 drives that Ashdown made into Arkadelphia territory in the first half to try to avoid a situation where they'd go into the good sportsmanship rule in the second half. 2 of those were stopped by turnovers, another stopped by penalties, repeated penalties against Ashdown on that drive. They could make some yardage in the middle of the field. They could not penetrate. Only, I think, got to the red zone maybe one time throughout the game, and Arkadelphia wound up getting the shutout. Arkadelphia, though, has had a really opportune defense in creating turnovers, and it has always come in handy.
Really, the last few games, some special teams have created turnovers and opportunities for scoring, and then the defense as well. Tonight we saw that again, keeping Ashdown from scoring there with the interception as well. Offensively, I think Chris was talking about the number of plays. Tonight they ran 32. 8 passes, 6 out of 8, 75 yards. Didn't have to throw. So they're putting points on the board. Had a short field again. When your defense plays like Arkadelphia's, you end up with that short field in high school. The 45, the 50, somewhere in there. And it doesn't take many plays to score, particularly when you make big plays like Arkadelphia does. Big Knight's running up from Reed. We saw him with 12 carries for 71 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Whitaker had 7 carries. They were key on him because in the second half they were just running the ball 28 yards, but he had a nice touchdown run as well. Wagner had a big night, 3 receptions for 66 yards and 2 TDs. And then Ryan Roberts, I got to put that one in, had the big TD run for 86 yards, and that does make McCoy end up with 161 yards total for him. So, again, over 100 yards in just less than a half. Shut down the passing game early again for that. So, still saw a few penalties, but better. Again, some of that was just the nature of these games. When they sort of start to get out of hand, things get a little testy a little bit at times. So we saw that. I did a little bit of recap of my conferences. During the conference games, Arkadelphia is averaging 53 points a game. If you look at the defense and you take out a couple of scores that I know happened against the backups in the second half, the frontline defense is averaging 3 points a game.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That is, I mean, that's a 50-point difference when you're in basically your starters there. Again, total defense, I think it's about not quite 9 points a game in the conference season. So when you're doing that, playing offense, defense, special teams coming through, things are going to happen, and they're going to happen. They're going to be good things that happen for you.
Jim Rothwell, thank you so much. On stats again tonight, we appreciate your good work, as we always do from week to week for years now. Jim Rothwell on stats. When we come back, Chris Babb will have a conversation with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. This is Arkadelphia football, and you're into the Blend Real Estate postgame show. We'll be back after this.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to sponsor this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our Arkadelphia locations, located at each I-30 exit, or our new Tiger Mart store, located on 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia. R&T Dixon's Exxon stores say, "Go Badgers."
At Ludwig's Bakery, it's a family affair. It always has been, dating back to 1920 in the original Ludwig's Bakery in South Dakota. Well, we're here in Arkadelphia now in our new location downtown right off of Caddo Street. Come visit us and enjoy our authentic, freshly baked German fare. For us, it's nostalgic and a source of pride, and we want to share it with you.
Kommen Sie uns morgen früh besuchen.
That's come visit us tomorrow morning, and we can get your weekend off to a great start. Ludwig's Bakery.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in how we support our communities, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Kesterson Shelter Insurance appreciates your good work as a sponsor of Arkadelphia football and all of our sponsors. We're so thankful. This is the Blend Real Estate postgame show. Arkadelphia got the victory tonight, 49-0 here in Ashdown. Our pleasure to bring you the game. This is Jeff Root. We're down on the field. In a moment, we're going to have an interview as Chris Babb is lining that up, an interview with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. Let's go to the sideline.
The victorious Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. Coach, offense, defense, special teams again. Almost like a broken record. 3 phases, complimentary football. It was the exact same thing tonight.
It was, and one thing I told the guys after the game is, we're doing a great job at doing the little things right now, and we've got to continue that throughout the week, practice, school, everywhere else, and it's all transferring over to here, and that's what we got to keep doing.
I thought you had a defensive score. You had special teams again. Your offense may not have been 31 plays and 11 touchdowns, but I thought the execution was there offensively as well.
Yeah, we were explosive. We played with a short field a lot early, and then when we had the opportunity to go a full field, we did it in one play. And so, we're executing at a really high level right now. Very proud of our guys.
Coach, congratulations. Good win.
Hey, thank you. Go Badgers.
Coaching staff, what a tremendous job they do, and what a great job the Badgers did tonight. 49-0 was the win. This is Jeff Root down on the field. Now, Chris Babb's got a headset on. We're going to talk to him. Chris, we need an offensive, defensive player of the game. What do you think about offense?
They're in a game like this, you have several. I think of I missed the stats when Jim was going over them, but Kyle Reed with several touchdowns, really effective runs early. Looks like Kyle was, had, I don't have those numbers in front of me since I'm not up with Jim, but 2 touchdowns, 71 yards on, 12 attempts. So I'd have to go Kyle Reed.
Kyle Reed is a good choice. He is a dependable running back.
Right.
He always plays well. He's good in between the tackles, and tonight they really depended on him, and he came through in a big way.
Really did, and they're going to have him. You saw Caden Whitaker go out there. I think he's going to end up being okay. Nobody knows immediately after a game, but Blake Moody was out this week. Don't know when he will be back, but Kyle Reed is going to be called upon, and he's done a good job this far.
Defensive player of the game. Again, it's a shutout. Everybody played well. Do we pick one? Do you pick a unit? Where do you go with the defensive player of the game?
I've chickened out and picked the defensive line several times this season. because obviously the coaches pick their players of the game after watching the film and grading them out and looking at what individual assignments they're all supposed to be doing. And obviously we don't have the ability to do that immediately right after the game, which is sometimes why I check out and pick the defensive line. I think we had linebackers. We called Malachi Hamilton. Quintavion Morris's number several times. The defensive line, I think you could by default give that to him every week. But I also thought, I remember Quintavion Morris forcing receivers to be uncomfortable coming out of the backfield. The defensive line was forcing Williamson to get rid of the ball early. Morris was there to force an incompletion or just at least disrupt. So I might Quintavion Morris might be an option that we look at.
I like that option. I'll also mention the secondary did a fine job.
Absolutely.
They broke up some passes. They defended well against the run, too, because Ashdown tried to get to the outside with their running and their passing game, and they defended that well. In fact, they got a touchdown from Wagner on a defensive play. So a lot of people you could go with, but let's go with Morris. I agree with you. Quintavion Morris is our defensive player of the game. Special teams player of the game, you know, we don't always call that, but I just have to go back time and again, not only to Seth Molinari, who just makes every extra point, but the snapper, the holder, all of it comes together on a consistent basis, more than you would expect at the high school level.
Right. We talk about excuse me, I almost ruined it there. We talk about Seth Molinari. I believe now he's probably eclipsed the 50 extra point mark, and he hasn't had any misses. The snapper and the holder, you mentioned it. The snapper is Casey Pye. Casey Pye has had 50 tremendous snaps. 50-plus tremendous snaps. So that unit, Maddox Finley, I believe, is the holder. I could have just completely blown that. But that unit has a lot of responsibility, and they've done a great job.
So many times a miss from a kicker is a snap or a hold that's not just right, but they're doing it right every single time. It is truly impressive. Final comments tonight as Arkadelphia moves on with another victory.
I just think it's Coach Shucker was saying they've executed well offensively, defensively. They played complementary football. I've heard that term from coaches a lot over the last month, not just Arkadelphia, but all over. They've got to continue to do that next week against Genoa Central, and then as you get into Week 10 and then into the playoffs.
All right, that's our broadcast from Ashdown tonight. I want to say thank you to Coleman Callan, who climbed up on a chair and shot some good video, even though he was shooting through glass tonight. Super job by Coleman. Appreciate him as always. Our statistician for years now has been an accounting professor. You know, you can't do better than an accounting professor keeping stats. Jim Rothwell, thank you for that. And Chris Babb, the quarterback of our staff, we appreciate him obviously very, very much. This is Jeff Root reminding you the final score was Arkadelphia 49 and Ashdown 0. Good night, everybody. And Abby, tell Mary Kate, Papa's on his way home.